Check, 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 check. Good morning. Let's do this. Back at it after, a couple days off, Marshall.
Come on, it's more than a couple days off, man. You were gone for 5 work days. That's the equivalent of a week, I'm pretty sure. Not a math guy.
Is that it? I don't know. I lost track after day one.
Well, it's because all the edibles you were taking.
You
came back as a drug guy, which is kind of interesting. I always thought it would be me that'd be more of the drug guy between the two of us, but you're the drug guy now. How does it feel?
It feels okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. It was a great trip to Austin, Texas. I saw all of the live music, which was a lot of fun. So I enjoyed myself thoroughly. I'm happy to be back.
Now, you seem a little changed outside of the small tan that you probably got there in the Texas sun. Was it weird when you became a drug mule? Because you're now a drug guy, and you can't just stop being a drug guy, because that's what I've told. That's very uncomfortable. So now you had to stuff a bunch of stuff up your butt. How does that feel, drug mule?
You know what? I needed to pay for my plane ticket back.
Right.
So I said it was going to be a one-time thing.
Right.
It's very lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I got a side gig now, everybody needs that side hustle.
Kotter the drug mule. Just let Kotter know your drug mule needs, and he will help you out. DM the Kotter and Marshall Show.
All right, coming up on the show today, we're going to get to the big guy to break down another weekend in the NFL. I'm going to get quizzed in the face. We're going to talk Bill Murray, maybe entering the MCU. We'll take your call, comment, and text today. What have you bought that's been super useful and you would recommend to a friend instantly? And, of course, we'll kick off the show next with About Last Night. David Arquette ruining my childhood. Smash Mouth lead singer calling it quits. And John Gruden, not a good look for this guy this week. We'll kick off that story next with About Last Night. Here's New Rise Against Talking to Ourselves. Kotter and Marshall Show. Good morning. Rock 106.1.
Jess, good morning. And yes, we missed you too. We're back at it here. Kotter, you mentioned quizzed in the face. I am going to be quizzing you in the face right around, I think it's 8:30.
Okay.
8:30 today. I wrote this game, it feels like 2 months ago.
All right.
But I did write this game weeks and weeks and weeks ago. So today, in honor of the NHL season getting kicked off just 2 days ago, 2 short days, today's quiz in the face, once again, because of the spooky season, you'll be picking predators. So you'll be picking real life serial killer / predators, or Nashville Predators from the hockey team.
All right.
So
all right.
pretty simple. I'll give you a name.
But is it?
And a name only. And all you have to say is Nashville Predator or Predator.
Okay, or Predator. All right, fair enough. I got it. Following.
So that's quiz in the face today. I don't know why I thought of that. I think I was actually driving home from a movie and thought of that one, oddly enough, like weeks ago. Marshall, did you get the details about Wormstock? Yes, I did. Thank you, Jess. Haven't decided on anything yet, but it does look fun. So the Wormhole is doing Wormstock. I think it's on October 30th is what Jess sent me.
Okay.
She's going to beat me. Not like a mule or a drug mule, but like a regular person for not remembering this off the top of my head. But Wormstock is happening, and it's like a big day-long music festival at the Wormhole.
I like it.
It is, there it is. It's going to go down Saturday, October 30th. And tickets are $12 a piece. And I'm trying to find the bands as I stall for time. But there's like some stupid amount of bands. I want to say there's like 10 bands that are playing. There it is.
Got about a minute left.
So the bands are Actus Rus, I think is how you say it. Ember City, Lilac, Perpetual Care, Sugar and Spit, Insight, Pink Piguch, and Guns to Gallows. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bands that are going to be playing for Wormstock 2.
Nice.
Charles says, surprised to see y'all on today. Figured Tim Janier would have upgraded that while you're right. Yeah, actually, so I was kind of surprised that we worked today, too. Twitch was attacked a few days before we were eventually back on, or before we went on vacation, and we had to update a bunch of stuff.
Ooh. All right, guys, we'll be right back. So John Gruden, kind of a douchebag. We'll get to that story next about last night. Story number one about last night. Now, Monday, Las Vegas Raiders coach John Gruden stepped down. This happened after the New York Times reported on emails from Gruden. He used homophobic language to make fun of NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Mm-hmm. And then less than a week ago, other emails showed him making racist comments toward a union leader. Now, the Raiders released a statement via Twitter about the release, and it said, I have resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders. I do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, and staffs. And fan of Raider Nation, I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone.
So the NFL had these emails from John Gruden, which he sent most of them to the guys over at the Redskins. Now, a lot of these emails were done when John Gruden was just a Monday Night Football play-by-play guy for ESPN. So he said a lot of horrific, dumb stuff. Like, emails are forever, and I think maybe the older generation
forgets that sometimes.
Forgets that. Maybe you shouldn't put certain words in emails. Keep them for the rest of your weird, racist, homophobic buddies, but in person. But yeah, it's kind of weird because the NFL did have these emails from their investigation on the Washington football team. You remember that a year or two ago when they kind of went through everything and they had to fire some people and yada, yada, yada. Well, the NFL just decided this week was a good week for John Gruden to get fired because they started releasing these emails and they gave them to the Raiders before they even released them. They're like, you should fire him before we release more, and if you don't, we're going to release more. And they let John Gruden actually coach his last game against the Chicago Bears, which they lost horrifically, thank you. And then they allowed him to have that one last game, and then they fired him the next day. He quit his job because they didn't fire him before that game. The NFL actually released more emails on Monday. So it was like the NFL had a vendetta against John Gruden here. Not saying it wasn't well-deserved, just saying it was kind of strange.
So Goodell was just upset with what was said in these emails?
Yeah, because he was the point of complaint in a lot of these emails. So
John Gruden just completed like a home in Vegas, building this home, $4.3 million. The ground level is almost 7,000 square feet. The second level, almost 2,000 square feet. He never lives in this house, does he? He moves, right?
I don't know.
He puts this up on the market.
It's Vegas, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like a Vegas guy.
No, not at all.
He seems like a Florida guy.
Yeah, I mean, he never moves into this thing, right?
I don't know, but I mean, the house looks amazing. I mean, they get some aerial shots of it that I saw online, and this thing is ridiculous. Now, it doesn't stop there. He most likely has to sell his house now, which he bought once again for $4.5 million in Vegas. The way Vegas real estate is going, though, he'll make a profit. Bad news. He got let go from his Skechers shoe deal. Apparently he had a Skechers shoe deal.
Yeah, he's going to get let go from everything.
Yeah, and also he was actually taken down from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Ring of Fame.
Yeah.
He was obviously the head coach when they won a Super Bowl years and years and years ago. I think it was their first one. They've taken down his name from the Ring of Honor as well. So bad week for Gruden. Bad week.
How long before he pops up somewhere?
I don't know, like what, on the
I don't see him becoming
One American News Network? Where else do you put this guy? Fox News?
I don't know. I mean, eventually, does he get his comeback, or is this it for Green?
I think him and his dumb haircut is done. I think he's made so much money from the Raiders. He made $10 million a year.
Yeah.
He's one of the highest paid head coaches in the NFL. And I'm pretty sure Mark Davis will just pay out that contract too. He's got 6.5 more years on that contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. And I did. And once again, I had a lot of time because we were off for a very long time. I did the math, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next, Smash Mouth lead singer Steve Harwell also had a rough week. Story number 2 about last night coming up. Kotter and Marshall, Rock 106.1.
Yeah, Steve Harwell, same story, just more sad.
Yeah.
Once again, good morning, guys. Andrew says, morning, guys. Glad you're back. I've had to listen to Massachusetts radio with a pukey face. Appreciate that, mostly, I think. Let's see. Yeah, Wormstock 2. Sounds pretty awesome, Jess. Good morning. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Jeff. We're happy to be back. We missed you. Heather says, Fozzie was awesome, by the way. Thank you all so much. You're welcome. You're absolutely welcome. Yeah, so I got a lot of messages of, we know Cotter's gone. Where are you, Marshall? So I had to shoot out a couple text messages on Friday nights. I got invited to go see Shinedown down in St. Augustine. Forgot how much I love St. Augustine. It's just one of those little hidden gems along the coast. Love St. Augustine to death. Went to the Ice House for dinner. So there's the St. Augustine Distillery, and they have a restaurant there called the Ice House, and it's awesome. Like, they have incredible, like, mixed cocktails, and the food is great.
Right. So
my buddy and his wife were like, hey, let's go here. I'm like, cool, sounds great. I did not look to see how much this place was. Like, is it like Marshall's, like, Chili's level? or is it, like, high class, right?
Right.
This place was uber fucking expensive.
Really?
So my buddy gave us the tickets, obviously, and he drove us down to St. Augustine. So my wife and I were like, let's just pay for dinner, right? I think that's
fair.
Yeah, it's not like fair. I think it was the nice thing to do. They invited us down. We stayed at their house, you know.
Right.
It was a nice little thing they did for us, inviting us down. So we're like, let's take care of dinner. Dinner with tip was like $240.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Dude, my buddy and I got $20 cheeseburgers. Yep. And the wife's got like $40 entrees. And then we each had like 2 cocktails apiece. And they were ranging between like $9 and $15. So a little crazy. When we got the bill, we're like, oh, ouch.
When you got there and looked at the prices, did you instantly look for the cheapest menu item knowing it was going to be an expensive evening?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But like, it was like, I'm going to a concert and I didn't want to have like a big heavy meal. Like, a lot of it was like pasta dishes, like these big hearty gigantic meals.
Right.
So I just got the cheeseburger, man. I went cheeseburger and truffle fries. And who doesn't love a good truffle fry?
I do love some truffle fries.
Un-American if you don't like a truffle fry. So yeah, I did that, and then I did 2 craft cocktails. Delicious. My wife got some soupy thingy that was like $40, and my buddy's wife got like some short rib thing, and the food was incredible. Like, don't get me wrong, please go there. It was delicious, but whoops, a little pricey.
Tony, you'll be surprised how many people don't get the reference of my name. So I don't hear it as much as you would think. I have heard it before, but most people, when I say Kotter, they're like, huh? I go, welcome back, Kotter, huh? So, you know, not as much as you think.
Speaking of Tony, Charles actually mentioned, he goes, Tony T, I wanted to know your Halloween budget for a perfect touch. Looks like you spent a bunch, but it also looks good. So a perfect touch, if you follow them on Instagram, they did like a big Halloween photo shoot.
Okay.
And it was like really nice photos, like really well done. And I was thinking the same thing just the other day, Charles. I'm like, damn, they spent a lot of money on Halloween. More than our yearly budget for marketing. Oh, Jess, yes. Talking about that dinner sounds like a night out in Savannah. I don't know, man. I could go to the ordinary pub and get away with like a $50 meal. But good Lord, the Ice House. Fun. Super fun.
While I was out, trailer for the new Scream movie came out. I don't know. I like the way it looked.
Ugh.
I love the first movie. I thought the first movie was really, really good. The second one, garbage. The third one, utter garbage.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth one, when they originally tried to reboot it, not horrible.
Uh-huh.
That one was harder to watch because the first one came out and it was the mid to late 90s. The second one came out post, more of like school violence and school shooting. And that one was weird to me to watch because there was a lot of students just shooting students, and they were like, this is kind of uncomfortable. So I don't know what this new one's going to be like, but I thought the trailer looked pretty good.
I don't know if I've ever been like a fan of the Scream franchise, and I couldn't tell you if I've seen 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah.
It's 4 technically, 1.5.
Yeah. It was like they tried to reboot it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It did not look. I watched it twice.
You
And
didn't
I'm
like it?
I was like, I wanted. Here's the thing, I wanted to like
Sure.
it. Like I don't hate the Scream franchise. Once again, I've seen. I don't think I saw the first film like in movie theaters or anything, but I watched it at home and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I don't know. I guess I just never caught on to it. Now, obviously, I know it's a big, hugely recognizable franchise. The Ghostface Killer has been known for years now. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just didn't really care for the trailer very much.
I thought the way they redid the whole. I mean, they've got the whole premise now about how it always starts with one person getting killed, and they show a lot of that in the trailer, which really surprised me. But I think they did that to show how they were going to do it in this time period where things are more digital and how things work and how cell phones are more prevalent than they were when the first one came out. So I don't know. I thought it looked pretty cool. I hope it doesn't suck. All right, we got about 2 minutes.
So I think this weekend I'm going to go see Venom, and I know I'm very late to this train. I'm 2 weeks out. Halloween Kills comes out tomorrow, which I don't know. I just thought today was Monday for a second. Halloween Kills comes out tomorrow on Peacock and, of course, in movie theaters. But because it's on Peacock, I think I'm going to go check out Venom this weekend in theaters, and then I'm going to check out Halloween Kills sometime over the weekend as well.
Yeah, I contemplated going to the theater to watch Halloween, but I'm like, nah, screw it. I'm just going to watch it from my house.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too easy.
So I get the dreaded task tomorrow after the show. Very excited. And by dreaded, I mean I'm very excited. I get the dreaded task of going to buy a new car.
Why?
Very excited.
You or the wife?
The wife.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
long overdue for her, though, right?
She's had that car our entire relationship.
Yeah.
And
It's
we're
time.
about to celebrate 10 years married next May.
It's time.
Yeah. Well, she didn't decide it was time.
The car decided?
The car decided.
Hey, I've been there.
So the car started like having this small leak on the driveway, and I pointed out to her, I'm like, "Hey, your car that's on death's door is starting to leak." I go, "We should probably have it looked at," and she made no effort. And I'll tell the rest of the story after this break here, but
Okay.
It turns out we're buying a new car.
All right, guys, got about 20 seconds. We'll be back. Story 2. So it's been a rough week for Smash Mouth lead singer Steve Harwell, and kind of like John Gruden, he's a little bit of a douchebag. Got that story coming up next. Story number 2 about last night. On Sunday, Smash Mouth headlining the Big Sip. It's a craft brew festival in upstate New York.
That sounds like a craft beer festival that I would like to go to.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm down with that. I think it's a great name. Well, during their performance, they had multiple sound issues. Also during the performance, Smash Mouth lead singer Steve Harwell just seemed out of it.
Lethargic, I guess, is a good word
Yes.
you could use.
Yes.
He seemed like a fellow who didn't want to be there.
He was mumbling into the microphone. You couldn't really understand what he was saying. And when you could understand what he was saying things like, F you, bitches. If I could give myself, pleasure, I'd never leave my house.
Oh, wow.
I'll effing kill your whole family. I swear to God.
No, I love that one because it could go to anyone in the crowd. Like, it's not a singular type of thing. Like, it works for like the entire crowd, and I like that because sometimes you got to be up there. You got to be a people pleaser if you're a singer. So.
Yeah, I mean, as a lead singer, you've got to engage the entire crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess it is good that he didn't point anybody out. After his performance, reportedly Harwell went to TMZ and said, "Look, I'm retiring. I'm done." He said, "Ever since I was a kid, I dreamed of being a rock star, performing in front of sold-out arenas. I've been so fortunate to live out that dream. To my bandmates, it's been an honor performing with you all these years, and I can't think of anyone else I'd rather gone on this wild journey with."
Now, one thing you forgot to mention was he was giving the Nazi salute at a couple times during the performance. Was it the Zig Heil, whatever that is?
Yeah.
So, whoops. Steve Harwell. Now, it came out a few weeks ago that he was having some pretty bad like heart complications due to just some health issues, his weight and everything. So he's always been kind of on the huskier side of the weight line.
Yeah.
On the appropriate, what your doctor would say is skinny or not. But this was interesting. I wonder if that had like his health and obviously his medications kind of led him to this exact point where now he's saying he's going to retire. But I don't believe this retirement speech, Kotter, even after all the nasty things he said on stage. Us as a society will redeem him. A quick sorry, and we'll be like, bad day at the job. No worries. We all have a bad day at the office.
Right.
Like, he can come back from this. I just don't believe his retirement speech that he gave to TMZ.
No, I don't at all. And now the band recently did have a fill-in singer because he was actually going to take some time off because of the whole health thing. But no, I agree with you. I give him a couple months.
Yeah, 2022.
And he's back.
Yeah.
Now, Smash Mouth's had this weird relationship with fans recently, too. They were upset that All-Star wasn't included in the Rolling Stones Top 500 songs.
True.
They got all kinds of snotty, I don't know, a couple months back, there was a Twitter beef with something going on with listeners and fans. So, I don't know, man. This whole thing has been a weird roller coaster recently. Hopefully, take some time off.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets better.
Yeah, I mean, come back with like an easy Twitter game, like insulting a few more people so we can talk about you again, and then go back out on tour. Why not, man? I'd love if I was at a crap beer festival and Smash Mouth just suddenly appeared. I wouldn't hate it. I'd stand there. I'd chug some more beers.
What song would you need to hear from Smash Mouth?
What's the Shrek song?
That's I'm a Believer.
Yeah, I need to be like 8 beers deep, and that song's incredible. So yeah, bring it on. Let's do it.
All right, story number 3 about last night coming up next. David Arquette is now the proud owner of something I loved as a child. We got that after Chevelle. Here's Self-Destructor. It's the Kotter and Marshall Show. Rock 106.1.
All right, good morning, guys. Wanda, good morning. Yes, we have decided to work.
Nah, we're here.
Cotter's decided to work.
I can't confirm it's work.
Tony says, I'm picking up my family today, and we're going to start wedding shenanigans for the weekend. Now, Kotter, I don't know if you got one or not, but I did not get a wedding invite, and I'm very offended.
No, I believe.
Did you get one?
I did not get one.
Okay. All right, so, Tony, we're offended that we did not get invited to the wedding. I find it rude. Now, Tony's been coming over every day since you've been gone, handing out candy.
She did that before I was gone, too.
So she did that the entire time while you were gone. She would come over once a day,
right,
and she would try to fill me up with all of her evil, beautiful, chocolatey candy. And even when I said no, she'd come back and throw a take 5 on my desk and then run away. But maybe that was her apologizing for not inviting us to the wedding. So
maybe.
I don't know.
She showered us with candy.
I don't know if I'm ready to. I'm not ready to forgive her yet.
You want to finish the car story?
So, Nicole came home 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And she came home a little later than usual, and I actually texted her, and I said, hey, car troubles? And I heard the garage door. I'm like, oh, okay, I sound like an asshole there. And she comes in, and she goes, hey, my car's smoking. Is that good? And I thought,
is that good?
Yeah, and I thought she was messing with me, right? I just texted her. I'm like, car troubles? And I'm like, yeah, that's not good. And I was like, I could tell she was serious. I'm
right.
Like, okay, let's go outside. So I go outside. Her car is not like bellowing smoke.
Right.
There is a good amount of white smoke coming from the engine block. And it could be something very simple, like maybe a loose hose or something.
Right.
It could just be, some vital blood-like liquid that's in the car that is streaming out. So I actually make a quick text to my buddy Charles because I'm like, hey, is there a good mechanic that you suggest? He suggested one. So I got the car to the mechanic yesterday, and the mechanic said, so here's some news. So it's either a blown head gasket or a cracked radiator block. Also, your radiator is clogged, which is what caused whatever this issue is. Right. It's an internal engine issue, and this mechanic didn't actually handle internal engine issues. So it turns out this car is 15 years old, 170,000 miles.
Had a good run.
It had a good run. So I'm working with the fine people of Springfield Southern Motors Honda. So I'll be going up to Springfield Friday after the show.
Okay.
We're looking at a 2019 fully loaded Jeep Compass.
Look at her.
26,000 miles on it. So, I mean, it's got everything. She's had like the standard car for 15 years. Mm-hmm. She's going from nothing to Bluetooth, moonroof, heated seats, automatic start, everything.
Yeah.
It is fully loaded. So she's excited about it, and we'll be taking a look at that car. I talked to the general manager, Scott, last night via phone. I said, Scott, I don't want to waste your time. If the car's not there, just let me know, and I'll move on. He's like, I have the keys in my hand. I promise it's not going anywhere. It'll be here for you on Friday.
Oh, damn. Nice.
That's my boy, Scott. That's my boy.
That's good. Now, she's going to be spoiled. Because, I stumbled into the titanium package when I bought my new car.
Such a weird thing.
It is such
weird
a
flex that you got there.
Well, no, I'm just saying. It's not something I wouldn't buy that upgrade on a normal. If I was buying a new car, I just wouldn't, spend the extra thousands of dollars to get the titanium thing. But it was a used car, so it had it. Dude, I love it. I don't think I can ever go back. It's just the little features, that make it all worth it. The best feature is you can preset up to 3 mirror and seat settings.
Yeah.
So if my wife hops in the car and then I get back in, I just got to push a button. It goes back to how I like it.
That's nice.
Instead of trying to fumble around. Was this the spot? I don't remember. So it's those little things. Now, whenever you have to buy a new car, you're like, I can't go back now.
Yeah. No, so that's what I told him. And I told him because it's funny enough, I've scheduled my wife a massage at a Perfect Touch massage on Friday at 4 p.m. So I go, Scott, I will get there as soon as I can after the show. We have to leave at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I go, we have to leave at 3 o'clock. I go, that's kind of it. So we need to make this happen quick if it happens. He goes, we can take care of you. So I was like, cool.
Look at him. That's awesome.
Just says, find what she likes, then buy on Carvana. They finance, no dealer fees, no dealer BS, and deliver to your house. I'll never use a car dealership ever again. Ooh. So my endorsement of Springfield Southern Motors Honda doesn't sound so good right there, huh? Speaking of great Halloween night displays, Wanda P has some awesome displays. Oh, shoot. We should go drive by Wanda's house. Is that weird, Wanda? We just drive by your house at night? Charles says, Tony, sounds like you could stretch a budget in these times. Oh, nice.
All right, guys. Be right back. Actor / pro wrestler, he still is, David Arquette, is now the proud owner of Bozo the Clown. Info coming up. Story number 3 about last night. Now, I don't know if Bozo was a big deal here in the South, but growing up in Illinois, Bozo being out of Chicago on WGN, completely legit as a kid, man. I love me some Bozo the Clown.
Yeah, Bozo the Clown, a little like ball throw game. I mean, that was the business. Even me, I think the last couple of years Bozo was kind of big. I think was when I was watching him, but I would watch at least once a week. Yeah, and I was like that ball throw game the entire time. I'm like, get it in the bucket. Even then, I was a little jerk because immediately I thought I could do better. I think everyone who watched the bucket throwing game could do better. And just so anyone who doesn't know, he would have 10 buckets lined up. If you threw the ball in, you would get a prize. If you threw the ball in the next one, you get a bigger prize.
Yeah.
And it keep getting bigger and bigger. And usually it was like small school-age children that would play this game, and it was very oddly competitive, and the rest of it was like weird little skits.
Yeah, Grand Prize Game was the official name. Now, I mean, he was on WGN. WGN was a superstation. It got everywhere. So maybe, everybody else remembers Bozo as well. Well, actor David Arquette has recently bought the rights to Bozo the Clown. He's the first new owner of the character in 65 years.
I fell in love with Bozo when I was a kid, and it really just lit my heart up. And I want to bring that kind of joy to people of the world. There's a lot of rebuilding we have to do for the love of clowns in general, but we're being really sensitive about it. There's going to be a lot of charity involved. That's the whole goal. A lot of charity, a lot of giving back, a lot of laughing and smiling. At one point, there were 200 Bozos throughout America and Mexico and Brazil. So we really want to sort of replicate that. We want to build a Bozo family. You have to kind of think of it as Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. So there's going to be some different elements, but it's all to really spread laughter and joy.
He seems really honestly like convinced of the product. Yeah. He loves it. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's happy type of situation. Do I think, man, I'm going to watch Bozo back on my television again? No.
No, I mean, clowns aren't what they were. I mean, I think a lot of us anymore, you think of a clown, you think evil. Now, give me an evil Bozo, and I'm like, maybe I'm in on this.
So back a few years ago, I had a buddy who put over Halloween, he put a skeleton, like a life-size skeleton, in his passenger seat because he thought it was funny, right?
Right.
For Halloween. And then he put a clown wig, kind of like a fro, but like different, like bright colors, a little bow tie, and a nose on this clown. He just glued the nose on, and he thought it was hilarious, and so did I.
Yeah.
And then he got pulled over because he drove by a bus stop, and the cops were called because people thought there was a dead body in his car.
Oh, no.
So when he got pulled over, the cops like, hey, man, we got this call. Can you get that out of your passenger seat? So I get why people have an issue with possibly clowns. Because even school-age children were probably screaming and crying when he drove by just with a very harmless skeleton in his front seat. But he has a long way to go. David Arquette, I mean, and also he sounds like he's gotten like 27 concussions from doing his minor league professional wrestling career. Maybe he shouldn't be the owner of this.
All right, coming up next, last week when we were off, Savannah lost a radio icon. So we wanted to pay tribute. We'll do that next. Kotter and Marshall Show, Rock 106.1.
Wanda says that she loved watching Bozo.
Okay.
He played sick. We played sick just to stay home to watch it. Damn, Wanda.
Because, I mean, I knew, he was franchised. Back in the day when before there was cable, there were different Bozos in different markets. So everybody got the show, but it was just a different Bozo. That kind of went away. WGN, took over. Being a superstation, much like TBS, it was all over the country. So I'm guessing by the time we were watching Bozo as kids, we were watching the same Bozo. It wasn't this,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Weird thing that was out everywhere.
Tony says, am I the only one who would practice the ball throw game just in case you ever got to go to Bozo?
No. Well, here's the thing. So there was the big drum that they would select an at-home player. So the person would play for themselves and an at-home player. So like this,
Oh, okay.
So you could send in your name and, try to be, well, I was a kid. I didn't know how to send in my name. So in the back of my mind, as a kid watching this, my mom sent in my name. They'll draw my name. My mom never sent in my name. But they'd draw for the at-home player, and then they'd go play the grand prize game.
Yeah. Dave says last Saturday, Alice Cooper. Yeah, Alice Cooper played down at the Daly's Place in Jacksonville. Ace Frehley opened up for Alice Cooper. Now, glad to hear that went good, Dave. Yes, yeah, I watched it on WGN. WGN, I mean, I watched a lot as a kid because, it had Bozo, it had the Chicago Cubs, watched a lot of Chicago Cubs on the WGN, but now WGN's the home of...
I don't know what it is anymore. I couldn't tell you last time I watched it, but yeah, I definitely... As a kid, definitely watched a lot of WGN.
Yeah, I think the last time I watched WGN was, the last time I even heard about WGN, they had an original series called Witches that Marilyn Manson did the theme song for. And I think he was on the show, like an episode or two. But yeah, I think that's the last time I even heard of WGN. Charles says, I had a Bozo pillowcase cover that I used on my bed throughout college. Must have got all the ladies. He goes, occasionally a chick would get a little creeped out, but who cares? By occasionally, do you mean the one time a girl came back with you to your dorm room? Salem, yeah, Salem was the show. I thought it was called Witches. Yeah, bozo pillowcase must have been hard to walk back from. How do you explain that? Kotter, a girl comes home with you.
That never happens.
Bozo pillowcase is on your bed. She looks at the bozo pillowcase. She looks at you. What do you say? Waka waka.
Yeah, I know. What do you do?
When she looks back, you have a red nose on, and you just squeeze it, and then your eye.
Are you into this? Do you like this? I have a clown fetish. Would you put on these shoes?
One of those flowers shoots out of your pants and squirts water on her face. This is going to be you later.
Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, that's funny. All right, guys, going to dive into a sad story here at the bottom of the 6 o'clock hour. A Savannah radio legend, Don Scott. We're talking about Don Scott. He passed away last week, so I'm going to talk about Don here in a little bit. Then we'll dive into our question of the day. If you didn't see it show up on our Facebook pages, the Kotter and Marsh Show page, the Rock 1061 page, question of the day is, what have you bought that's been super useful and you would recommend to a friend, and why? Tell us why.
I don't know if you saw this story recently. Kerry King Slayer having a little buyer's remorse when it comes to the retirement.
Let me stop you right there. I'm going to talk about it in Marshall's Music News today.
There you go. Never mind.
Yeah, I changed those.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't remember that being there, but okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. I'll shut up. Never mind. You didn't hear that.
There's some buyer's remorse. 100%.
All right. We've got, I got about 4 minutes.
So did you hear about the story with Machine Gun Kelly and his girlfriend, Megan Fox?
No.
So did you hear about Megan Fox told the story of the first time they met?
Okay.
And the story, and I'm prefacing it, I'm breaking it down. Essentially, she said she walked into a room that just reeked of weed, and he walked up in front of her, and she said, "Do you smell weed?" And he looked at her and said, "I am weed." And then she said he disappeared like a ninja after that. Like immediately he said, "I am weed," and then he was just gone.
Yeah.
In this room. And I'm like, that is the most beautiful first time you met someone stories I've ever heard in my life. Machine Gun Kelly.
He played Austin City Limits, which I went to last weekend. I did not go see his set.
Oh, okay.
My Uber driver, so he played Friday. So my Uber driver did the festival on Saturday, went the week prior, and she's like, "Did you see Machine Gun Kelly?" I'm like, No, I didn't. Oh, I love him. I mean, she was nuts for him. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Didn't see it. I really wasn't excited to see too many bands at the festival this year. But when I got there, my hookup for the ticket says, "Hey, I got another wristband for you." Gets you into this little backstage area, free beer. I'm like, score. Because I got the ACL on Friday, bought my first beer. The cheapest one is $10.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, this is going to be a very expensive weekend. And then I found out that I got those free food, free beer. They had like delicious oysters on Saturday, so it was great.
What kind of beer did they have?
It was literally Miller Lite and Coors, but
it's not bad.
I'll take that over the $10 to $15 options I had in the beer tent.
Right.
And if you were out, so they have this big beer tent that has variety of beers. All the other satellite beer stations, it was legitly just Coors and Miller. Mm-hmm. So and they were $10 there. So I'll take the free. But I saw some interesting bands. Modest Mouse was different.
That doesn't sound good.
I mean, I like them. Not the highlight of the weekend. Different. They had a percussionist in the back that I couldn't take my eyes off because he was playing bells. He was playing a wood block.
Yeah.
He had multiple different shakers. I mean, and he was some old dude who was way into it. He'd get up to the microphone. He'd be like, ding. And then he'd put it down. He'd grab the block, and he's looking so intense, and he's like, clunk. All right, put it down. Shaker. I'm like, what do you got back there?
Yeah, that reminds me of like if you go and watch the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, they have a member of the band who does not play music. He just dances.
Yeah.
So like that's the equivalent of that guy.
Yeah.
That guy has more musical talent.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Interesting.
I saw somebody, Ayron Jones, and God dang it, I don't remember. Very soulful type stuff. And the drummer is co-founder of the band, and he just sings in like this old school 50s, 60s falsetto while he's back there playing drums. And watching anybody sing and play drums still blows my mind every time. Because I'm like, I don't know how you're doing this. It's like magic. But they were good. I saw somebody named Maggie Grace, a lot of horns. They had this bongo player who was just going nuts. I was like, man, that's highly entertaining. So it was actually pretty fun. The first band I saw was just a straight up country artist called Vince Neil something. And when I first looked at the thing, I was looking at it on my phone, the lineup, and I thought it was like this weird Vince Neil cover band.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope. And I went, it was just this old school fat country guy in a wife beater and a vest. And I'm like, yep, this is Texas.
Vince Neil.
Something. I don't remember.
It was Ayron Jones and the Indications.
There you go. Really, really good. Get a chance to kind of dive into them, I would. All right, guys, be right back. Good morning. Thank you for hanging out. Kotter and Marshall show. Now, last week, while we were out, we got word of the passing of not just a Savannah radio icon, just a Savannah legend, and that is Don Scott from I-95. I know it's taboo. You don't talk about the competition. You know what? Don Scott was more than just competition. I don't know if you guys ever had a chance to meet him. One of the nicest people you could ever run into and just spend time with.
Yeah, and he spent 36 years at I-95. He was there for, his entire adult life. I mean, he spent there. He won all sorts of awards. And the first time I ever met Don, I think I was at the Wild Wing upstairs, and I want to say Nonpoint was playing, possibly here in Savannah. And it was a Rock 106.1 exclusive show.
Yeah.
And I get called. They're like, hey, Marshall, can you come downstairs? And I've only been with the radio station a year or so.
Yeah.
And they're like, Don Scott is here. And at that point, I've heard of Don Scott. I knew who he was, but I never had a chance to meet him. Don Scott's downstairs. He's like, hey, man, I'm not trying to encroach on anything. He goes, he loved photography. So he's like, do you mind if I just come up, take some pictures? He goes, I will give you the pictures afterwards. I'm like, don't even worry about it, man.
Yeah.
Like, come on up. So that was my first interaction with Don Scott. Super humble guy. He was always nice every time I saw him out and about. I probably met Don, I don't know, a dozen-ish times from then. We knew of each other, but we weren't best friends or anything. I'm not going to act like we were, but Don was a great guy. And, of course, a huge Savannah legend. He did great stuff all over the city. He was always out at Coach's Corner. Mm-hmm. He did stuff for St. Jude's Breast Cancer Research. So it was a huge loss for the community to see that Don Scott passed away last week.
36 years at one station. If you guys are unfamiliar with the radio business, that is unheard of. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't happen. And after the passing, I've not seen one negative thing about this guy. Once again, when it comes to radio, unheard of.
Yeah, so Don Scott, huge loss for Savannah Radio, I-95. We wish them well. Rest in peace, Don Scott. All right, guys, let's get back to it.
Tony, screw music. How was the food? It's funny. I spent so much time with music. I didn't do a lot of eating. We did go to a barbecue place that was delicious.
What was it called?
I don't remember. So we had my aunt and uncle who I stayed with. My aunt is my dad's sister. So a cousin on the other side related to, my uncle was there as well. He went out and picked it up one day. So I don't remember. I wasn't there when he went out. We did, yeah. I didn't do a lot of eating. I'm trying to think where else I went. I went to Whataburger. That was delicious. Yeah, I didn't do a lot of eating out. My aunt made fajitas one day, and she's a great cook, so that was cool. But I think I saw live music every day I was there, except for my last day, which was just a half day.
Gotcha.
So, you ever get a chance, go to Austin, you're there on a Monday, go watch Bob Schneider at Saxon Pub. This guy is like an Austin legend, been there for years, dated Sandra Bullock back in the 90s.
That's his claim to fame?
That's kind of his claim to fame. I mean, he had a kind of a bit of a run, but I mean, nationally, but he's more known regionally. And he's just one of those guys that this show on a Monday night is something he's been doing for years. And he just goes, he literally, the door opens to the stage, which is right out to the parking lot at 5 till. He's supposed to go on, sits down. As soon as he's done, good night, he just walks out the same door and leaves. He doesn't set up, he doesn't tear down, he doesn't do anything. But he's one of the, I want to know how many songs this man has written, because he just is so eclectic in what he does. He's not like your traditional, what you'd think of singer-songwriter from Austin. He does weird stuff. He does semi-rappy stuff sometimes. And he's just one of those guys, after seeing him live, you're like, he has written thousands of songs that he's maybe played once and then never revisited. Just one of those uber-talented guys. It was so much fun to watch.
Morning, Dylan. How's it going? Morning, Holly. Yes, we missed you too. We missed you specifically, Holly. We love you. Yes. Thanks, Tony. Yeah. So our graphics guy put that together for Don Scott when Kotter was out last week. I got with Brez and we put something together for Don. Yeah, it was crazy to like hear that happen. I knew Don because I have some friends over that work for Cumulus, which is the radio group that I-95 is in and what Don Scott worked for. They let me know Don was in the hospital, and he's been in there for a little while. So
yeah.
it was sad to hear of his passing. Great guy, always very, very nice, very nice to both of us.
One of the nicest guys. I mean, 100%.
All right, guys, coming up here in a little bit, we are going to be doing our first call-in and what it feels like forever. Our question of the day is, what have you bought that has been super useful and you would recommend to a friend in an instant? We got a nice little smattering of of things from the Rock 106.1 and Kotter and Marsh Show Facebook pages. Some interesting things. We'll definitely bring those up here in just a little bit. Living this dual keyboard life over here. Coming up in the 7 o'clock hour today, we will actually give away some more Ayron Jones tickets. He's playing at District Live, which is not this Saturday, but next. He'll be playing next Saturday over at District Live, the brand new venue downtown Savannah. Also, we'll be talking about some Bill Murray, going to quiz Kotter in the face, and got the big guy Frank Sulkowski joining the show before we end today.
So I was flying back from Austin yesterday, and I was on Delta, and the bigger planes on Delta offer like free movies. So every seat's got like a screen on the back, so you can watch. And I mean, the selections are great. I mean, it's insane. I watched Black Widow on the way there.
Yeah.
So on the way back, I was going through the new movie options. Nothing I really wanted to see. It was about an hour, 45-minute flight, so I was looking for something kind of short. And Animal House was there. I was like, you know what? It's been years since I've watched Animal House. Let's do some Animal House.
Yeah.
Now, I figured you're on a plane. You always hear about the airline edits, of movies.
I've never heard of that.
You really? Because there's always because back in the day before they had individual ones, they would just show movies like on screens that everybody could watch. So they would edit, any cuss words out. It's like the TV edit would be, is what they'd show on the plane. So I thought that's what this would be. So I've got a lady sitting next to me, to my left, and she came in, and before she even sat down, she wiped down everything in her seat. I mean, she pulled open the little pouch that held all the information, wiped down inside of that.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I was like, okay, she's just wants to be clean. So I start Animal House, And at first thing I noticed, they were dropping cuss words. I'm like, all right, cool. Not that they could hear it because I was listening to my headphones. But I'm like, they're not going to show the nudity, right? They're not going to show the nude scenes. Get to the nude scenes, boobs everywhere. And I'm just like, I look over at the lady next to me. It looked like she was looking out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, this is really awkward right now. Thanks, Delta. So they don't edit their movies. Who knew?
So I've flown once where there was like a communal movie.
Yeah.
I forget what. I mean, it must have been when I was 17 years old when I flew to Washington State with my family. And there was like a communal movie. That was the deal where like everyone would get a pair of headphones. Yeah. They'd hand out headphones and you'd like plug it into the armrest of your chair or wherever. And then you'd watch whatever movie they would share. Ever since they put the TVs in the back of the headrest, I've never known them to like edit films or anything because once again, it was a 1v1 kind of experience because the TV's in front of you. Obviously, there's people sitting next to you and behind you could possibly see it, but
it was just I felt uncomfortable because of her sitting right there.
So did you stop?
No, I watched the whole thing. No.
So you felt so little uncomfortableness. You still watched a bunch of boobs on the screen.
I fast forwarded through because I want to say the first nude scene is the John Belushi up on the ladder and watching the sorority house.
Yeah.
And the second nude scene is Pinto and who you find out to be an underage girl. Up in the upstairs of the frat house at the toga party. I fast forwarded through that part. Like, okay, fast forward.
So you know the nude scenes very well before you even started watching this film.
I've seen Animal House a bunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know where the nude scenes are.
All right.
I will say, though, watching Black Widow, I really liked Black Widow. That was a great movie.
Really?
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was fun.
I thought it was another Marvel film that was the villain was incredibly weak.
Oh, yeah, the villain.
Best part about it was Black Widow's sister.
Yeah, okay.
Which is Black Widow Part 2, which is...
No, I mean, yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It was different, which I liked. I mean, the villain, yes.
Charles said for the question of the day is, once again, what have you bought that has been super useful and you would recommend? Charles goes, buying a vehicle warranty. Great. As Charles knows I'm buying a new car on Friday. I don't know. I've heard good things about the Jeep Compass that we're looking at. I don't know if anyone's heard bad things, but please let me know if I should get a 2019 Jeep Compass or not. But
I am unfamiliar with it. I watched a bit of Saturday Night Live as well. Kim Kardashian was the host. She has no comedic timing whatsoever.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't watch Saturday Night Live at all. Was there? I didn't see any bits kind of like even hit like.
The best one that because I watched it when I got home. I got home like almost 1:00 on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, and I just couldn't get to sleep right away. So I flipped it on as I was laying on the couch, and I didn't see this bit on TV, but I saw a download version or an online version of it. It was a pre-recorded skit making fun of hard seltzers and how everybody's got hard seltzers anymore. I thought that was pretty good. Because it started out with some guy drinking JCP hard seltzer. It was JCPenney hard seltzer. And then they were commenting about how everybody else, and it ended up like opening the desk drawer, and it's like desk had a hard seltzer. I mean, it was dumb, but it was really funny. And it's actually a short bit, a couple minutes long, 3 minutes long. That was pretty good. But yeah, Kim Kardashian, no comedic timing. Because it's like the opening monologue was well written. She poked fun at her entire family. She was making O.J. Simpson jokes. So I was like, oh, shit, she wasn't holding back. Just no timing to make them really hit and land. But, I mean, she was going for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect her to be. It's cool that she did it.
Yeah.
Also, funny enough, I read a story yesterday, so a lot of people obviously came out a while ago that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were not getting along and they were going to get a divorce. Well, it was in the news that they kind of like rekindled their romance and they weren't getting divorced. As of yesterday, TMZ has reported the divorce is back on.
She made a comment about, in the monologue, I mean, because she didn't hold back. So she made a comment about divorcing him, I think, in the monologue.
Oh.
So.
Yikes. You know your marriage isn't going well when it becomes a punchline in a Saturday Night Live monologue.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, shoot. I haven't got coffee yet. I'll be right back, guys.
Oh, yeah. Look at this fancy new full screen thing I made while Kotter was out, guys. Fancy. Even wider screen. More of me, which I know is what you want to see, especially this early in the morning on a Thursday. All right, guys, once again, our question of the day is, what have you bought that has been super useful and you would recommend to a friend in an instant? Feel free to drop your answers into the chat this morning. We do appreciate you joining us back live once again, our first time since last Wednesday. Yeah, it's been that long since since we've been on the air. In the 7 o'clock hour as well, we're going to play some trivia. Get back into playing some trivia, flex our trivia muscles, and we'll hook someone up with some Ayron Jones tickets. Ayron Jones, new artist, been playing a lot of them here on Rock 106.1. He's going to be a part of Welcome to Rockville, but before that, he's playing at District Live next Saturday night, October 23rd. We'll hook you guys up with tickets to go check him out. And I know, Tony, fancy.
We still got like 7 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Plenty of time.
So once again, guys, if you guys got some stories that you could drop into the chat for us, that would be amazing for our question of the day. Tomorrow we are going to have, I guess it would be a new bit with an old guest. So Lauren Wolverton, who obviously just finished up doing Explain the Bachelor for us, which we know was very interesting, especially for her. She's going to join us every Friday now. And she currently does a podcast, which you can find on Spotify and also at connectsavannah.com, called What Are We Doing? And it's kind of a breakdown of everything that's happening in Savannah. And she's just going to do like the radio version for us every single Friday. So Lauren Wolverton will be joining us on the show every Friday now. We couldn't let her go. We couldn't quit her. We love Lauren, and we wanted her to continue to be a part of the show. So new bit tomorrow. I think at 8 a.m. Raven Dantes, did Lauren ever help Tim with his wardrobe? I'm sure she asked him, but Tim's kind of hard-headed. I doubt he would even take the help if we even tried, but we'll try. We'll try again. Tony says, hashtag ask the 8-ball. Will things well with Jason and my mother this weekend? Will things, okay. Hashtag ask the 8-ball. This is Tony from A Perfect Touch Massage asking, will things go well with Jason and my mother this weekend? Is Jason the serial killer or Jason like your husband? Who? I don't know who that is. Okay, let's see. The outlook is good. Okay, so it sounds like everyone is going to be minding their P's and Q's, Tony. So thank you, Magic 8-Ball. Of course, if you have a question for the Magic 8-Ball, feel free to ask it. Hashtag ask the 8-Ball. Charles, thank you for your answer there. Appreciate it. Once again, question of the day, guys, is what have you bought that has been super useful and you would recommend to a friend in an instant? Let us know your answers here in the chat, and we'll share them with you top the 7 o'clock hour, which is actually should be like a couple minutes away, right? Unless we have some Tool song that's playing right now.
We got 5 minutes.
Yeah, some Tool song. The Metallica or Tool?
STP.
Oh, shit.
Plush.
Oh, is Plush really 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Is there a radio edit for that? Jesus Christ. So there is a viral video going out there that a New Jersey cemetery buried one dead person on top of another dead person because they didn't have enough room.
Right.
So a cemetery accused on viral video of burying bodies on top of each other insists there's no nefarious tale from the crypt going on because it's not what it looks like on camera. Here's the deal. A woman visiting her sister's plot at Laurel Grove Cemetery in New Jersey posted a video showing what appeared to be a fresh mound of dirt over her loved one's grave. She blasted the cemetery, accusing it of doubling up and using the same plot for someone else. Jessica Tawil, who posted the video that's making the rounds on TikTok, says the incident happened on Monday. and she claims there was an extremely foul odor coming from the pile of dirt on her family's $12,000 plot, which she believes has been disturbed. Now, the cemetery said this is not the case.
Okay.
But they didn't really give an explanation. Now, apparently, there's been 2 police reports filed on this, but the Laurel Grove Cemetery says it is not aware of them. It's also adamant that there are no additional burials or disturbances at the plots in the video, and they explain that all to the families. But they don't really explain the details, the real details.
Okay. Interesting.
So make sure there's no one buried on top of your loved ones when you go out to visit them at the cemetery next time, guys.
I finally watched some of Ted Lasso while I was in Texas, too. That show's fantastic.
Yeah, season 1's really good. People don't like season 2.
Really?
They said it's too sappy.
So I jumped in. I missed the first few episodes. My aunt and uncle just started watching it. I missed the first 3 or 4 episodes of season 1. So I just kind of jumped in from there and got to the first few episodes of season 2. I will say it definitely is more melodramatic, a little bit. So I get that. Not that it was bad, but I definitely get that complaint because you definitely kind of feel a shift in the tone, at least the first few episodes, because I didn't see all of it. But there's definitely a different feel to season 2.
Yeah, I just wish, a lot of people said they wish they would focus more on the football team aspect. And I think they'll probably do that in season 3 because it's obviously been picked up for season 3. It's Apple TV's, Apple Plus's, whatever it's called. It's their biggest hit.
Yeah, it's really good.
How much time we got?
I got about 1:40.
Okay. Whoa. This is actually a better question. So Tony asked, #AskThe8Ball, will things go well between Jason, her husband, mate, and my mother this weekend? And then she wrote, been together 18 years. He has never met her. He hates her on principle.
Whoa.
Now, I know there's a lot going on in that comment, but that is interesting.
Obviously, there's backstory there you don't need to get into, but that is an interesting dynamic. That 18 years in, just now meeting her. Wow. Okay.
Oh, Charles with some news here that obviously I didn't even catch on to. Not the biggest news in the world, but he said he's pretty stoked that they added the Butcher Babies to Welcome to Rockville.
Oh, that's cool.
Butcher Babies are awesome, man.
All right, got about 45 seconds.
Tony says, to be honest, this does not bother me. There should be no smell if the body has been processed. I think it would be smarter to bury families on top of each other and not side by side. Just add to the tombstone when someone dies.
I'm just going to be cremated. Keep it simple.
Is that really keeping it simple?
Yeah. Don't worry about burying me anywhere. All right, guys.
A lot of people get cremated, then buried.
You can just spread my ashes wherever. I don't care. I'll be right back, guys. We'll be right back, guys. What have you bought that has been super useful? So much so that you would recommend it to a friend instantly. 800-394-1061. Hit us up with a call, comment, or text. Good morning. Thank you for hanging out. Be sure to hop on that stream this morning, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join the horde while you're there. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. All right, once again, call, comment, and text today. What have you bought that has been super useful? You'd recommend it to a friend instantly. Marshall, I got one, and it's pretty straightforward. A vasectomy.
Wow.
I
going
would,
straight to the vasectomy.
You know what?
Going right to the dong.
One of the best things I ever got done.
Mm-hmm.
I had kid number 2, and it was just like, we're done, right? We're done. Sweet. Sign me up. Now, there are weird elements about a vasectomy that I didn't know going in.
Okay.
And every man should know these things.
Was it weird when they removed your testicles? You know that's not a vasectomy,
My wife
right?
already had those, so they weren't there to be removed.
Interesting.
But no, so there are weird elements involved in a vasectomy that you're not aware of. And it's the smell of burning flesh because they cauterize the innards of your junk.
Are you sure? Is that what the doctor told you? Did he use the term innards?
I
Because
think
I'm pretty
so.
sure that wasn't a doctor. That was a veterinarian.
Well, I mean, they cut you open, they tie stuff up, they cauterize it off.
Right.
So when you're laying there and you look down and you see smoke kind of rising from your testicle area,
Smoke from my testicles.
that was
a fire in the sky.
that was disheartening. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yep, that's my junk on fire right now. So those two things you should know about. And the only thing that hurts,
Junk on fire. Name of your sex
junk
tape.
on fire. The only thing that actually hurt was
Your pride?
They give
Knowing
you
you can never birth another child?
No, that was fine. They give you a shot on the outside, which is fine to numb everything. Then they cut you open, and they give you a shot on the inside.
Oh.
And it was the inside shot that felt like I was slowly and painfully getting kicked in the junk. Because it was just the pain that started and at the bottom it worked its way up into my stomach.
Isn't that supposed to like block the pain though?
It did after that because they were able to cauterize anything and I didn't feel anything. But a vasectomy, guys, if you're looking not to have kids, money well spent.
Well, I mean, it's not 100%, right? There's still like a 1% chance that you could still get a lady if you have sex pregnant.
So you're supposed to go back in multiple times so they can test your stuff.
How do they test it?
You bring
They poke it?
You bring a specimen.
You're supposed to like in a cup?
Yeah, you bring a specimen. They test it out. Make
Like in the parking lot? Like where do you do it?
Just wherever you want.
Like just in the lobby while you're waiting?
Just hey guys, do you mind?
I didn't have enough time before the appointment. Everyone turn around. Give me that JCPenney catalog.
And you're supposed to bring it in. So I did that one time, and they're like, all right, so far so good. They're supposed to do 2 more times. I never went back.
So there's a good chance that you could still get a lady pregnant.
I mean, it's been 15 years.
Right, and you've had sex 3 times since then, and currently you're batting 1,000 that you know of.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
So far, so good. So what have you bought that has been super useful? I will say, super useful, and recommend to a friend instantly. Give us a call, comment, or text 800-394-1061.
Cotter, going to our Facebook page right now, Tom Hartwell chimed in on this question, and he said, the devil's lettuce, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Now, you're a big drug guy now because you spent a week in Austin, and you did all sorts of edibles, smoked the marijuana probably from a bowl, a hitter, a gravity bong, a bong, a bong, a triple bong. Would you agree to this?
Yeah. I'm in on this review. I think it's condensed and right to the point.
Now that you're a big drug guy, what's your favorite brand of the marijuana?
I have no idea.
Purple Indigo?
Yes, we'll go with that.
Jam and Jam, Smoky Smoke? Just making stuff up.
And you know what? There's probably something named that. You're probably fine.
All right, Jim Miller also chimed in on Facebook as well. He said PBR and Jack Daniels. Also, guns, tools, and anything that makes my badass red-haired wife happy. That sounds like a man who knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Jim Miller's type of guy that if you sit down to next at the bar and you somehow strike up a conversation, 7 hours later, you are going to be in his garage. You are going to be helping him do some sort of woodworking type project. And for some reason, no shirts. Absolutely. And no safety glasses, no gloves. Like you just look at each other, you're like, did we just become best friends? And then you suddenly do karate. Like Jim Miller's that cool.
All right, hit us up, call, comment, and text. What have you bought that has been super useful? You would recommend it to a friend in an instant. 800-394-1061. More of your stories coming up next. Here's the latest from Pop Evil. It is Survivor. Kotter and Marshall Show. Rock 1061.
All right, got some vasectomy questions for you, Cotter. Let's start off with Cotter. I'm getting my vasectomy in November. How long were you out of work?
I got mine done like on a Thursday or Friday, so I just over the weekend. I ain't gonna lie. I made it seem worse than it was. Just bought a bag like frozen peas, set them on the junk. I did nothing all weekend, but honestly, not nearly as painful after the fact as I thought it was going to be going in.
So would you say you only really need like one day off work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that part wasn't bad at all. And it wasn't, the whole process wasn't bad, but smelling your burning junk is very weird. Looking down, seeing smoke coming from that general area.
Right.
Very weird.
Don't recommend it. Don't recommend seeing it.
No, well, yeah. I just wish I would have had a heads up that this was going to happen.
Well, I mean,
I didn't know.
They're cutting your sack open.
They're cauterizing it. I get it, but I didn't know.
Rhett says, he goes, he's actually been there and done that with the vasectomy. Sean's back. What's up, man? He goes, boys, Horde, we're back. Happy Thursday, y'all. How the hell are we? Feeling good, man. We're feeling good. We're rested. I am, at least. Rested, feeling great.
Red agrees. Just a day or two. It's not painful. Bag of frozen peas. Now, Michael, my doctor told me I should stay out of work for 10 days. I would question that doctor and his ability.
No, I think he was just giving you a pass, dude. I think he's like, here's a 10-day out of work pass if you want.
Now, next time you see your doctor, check out his hands.
Bring back a fruit basket and say thank you.
Well, check out his hands. If they're shaking, you may want to find another doctor. I'm just going to throw that out there. 10 days?
Yeah.
Seems a little extravagant, but hey, if you can use it, go for it.
Wanda, good morning. Good morning. Happy to have you. Actually, because I'm awesome and I love the Horde, I got Sandy on the guest list for Fozzie. And her and her son went, had a great time, sent me pictures, them doing shots in my honor, screaming my name in a pleasant way as opposed to the usual very like, Marshall, you son of a bitch, I'll kill you type of way. So very, very, very nice.
All right, for this next break, do you have a story you'd like to share?
I've got a couple.
Start with yours then?
Yeah. And then let's see. Charles says, key to a tolerable vasectomy. Charles, you sound like a veteran of vasectomy, like you've had multiple. He goes, scheduled for Thursday after lunch. Take Friday off, wear a jock strap, and keep ice on 3 days. We'll be fine by Monday.
Yeah, that's about it.
The jock strap one is actually, that may be a genius idea.
Well, you want to hold stuff in place.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%.
Ooh, Sherry, we were just talking about you. Well, your husband. And you, technically. All right, guys, once again, thanks for joining the Kotter and Marsh Show. We're back. We're excited to be back. Got a Torture Tuesday next week. I bet you forgot about that.
I forgot to purchase items, but I'll get those.
Yep, you got time.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, it feels good to be back. We're currently in our call-in segment. What have you bought that has been super useful and you would recommend to a friend in an instant? Go ahead and drop your answers into the chat. I'm going to tell mine, then we'll get into, I'm guessing, a couple from the Facebook page. We'll chat about that.
Yep. All right, guys, be right back. Taking your calls, comments, and texts this morning, 800-394-1061. What have you bought that has been so useful you'd recommend it to a friend instantly? Good morning. Thank you for hanging out on air and on the stream. What have you bought that has been so useful you'd recommend it to a friend instantly? You can call, comment, and text this morning, 800-394-1061.
Kotter, buying the power of the internet has brought me, obviously, lots of instant gratification moments. And I'm not talking about Pornhub
or
RedTube. Or I'll stop. I'll stop there. But how about just, how about YouTube? I mean, buying the internet and bringing me YouTube, I have saved so much money learning how to install electrical devices, doing some stuff to my car, like inserting like car stereos and stuff. Like that has helped me out immensely. I would obviously recommend that to a friend. Now, this is way back in the day when the internet, when Al Gore invented it, would have been, just out there. But How about this one? How about when I bought the power and I paid it in the currency of life? The power of saying, not a bad idea to someone I work with that is a bad idea, so you can see them drown in a sea of flames at work. I actually love that. And once again, you pay it not with real money. You pay it in the currency of life because there's some people that you don't like working with, right?
Yeah.
And they have ideas that they'll probably like spouting off every once in a while. And sometimes they're horrific ideas. But you know what you say? Great idea. Push it forward. And if anyone tells you to stop, you keep on going. This is going to change a lot of things, and it will really help us overall. Could lead to a raise for you when you know it's an absolutely terrible idea. I love the currency and the power of saying great idea to someone.
You know what? I can't say I've done it to be negative, to see them fail, but I've definitely done that just because I don't care enough to argue with them otherwise.
I just love saying it when I know it's one of those things where like, if this goes all the way, this will be an utterly outstanding failure. And you just sit back and watch it. You're like, this is why I come to work every day. This is why I don't work from home.
All right, 800-394-1061. What have you bought that has been super useful you'd recommend to a friend instantly? Now, back to the surgery thing, because Christina hit us up. LASIK eye surgery. Now, you've had surgery done in your eyes.
Yes, I had LASIK eye surgery when I was 23.
And, I mean, I wear glasses. I have bifocals. I'm old. And, you know, people have brought it up before. You don't wear glasses anymore. You've said how useful it's been. I'm still way nervous. I mean, I'd rather have somebody go in and take care of my junk than somebody come at my eyes with lasers or any sort of, apparatus.
But it's lasers, bro.
I don't care. It's my eyes.
It was when they approached me at the radio station, because this was like an endorsement, like they waived some fees, but I still had to pay some fees to get this done. Like at that time, like the LASIK eye surgery was archaic. They would take a razor blade, they'd shave off there's like a coating of your eye. They would shave that off, peel it back, and then shoot a laser beam in your eye, which would shoot and burn off the muscle that would cause you to have bad vision.
Right.
Now, I got that done when I was 23. I'm 38 now. My vision is still 20/20 to this day. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. It was life-changing.
Now, how long did you have to recover?
So it was weird because afterwards, because it was like an endorsement piece, I actually had to go out in front of a crowd of about 100 people and explain to them. And I'm kind of half drugged up because I'm like...
right afterwards?
Yeah, so...
Oh, my Lord.
So before the surgery, they gave you a bunch of numbing drops, and I dropped 10 of those in my eyes, then I popped whatever pain pill, and I went in and had the surgery, and literally, they hold your hand, and they pulled me out in front of a crowd of 100 people.
Right.
And they all asked me questions for about 20 minutes.
Right.
And it was a very weird thing. And then they give you these Spider-Man glasses, like Spider-Man 1.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They give you a pair of those glasses where there's little pinholes that you can kind of see through because you're not supposed to look directly at the sun or have bright lights shine in your eyes. That night, I went home and had marathon freak sex with my girlfriend at the time. So I would say when it came to recovery time, I would say you need about 15, 20 minutes.
That's it?
And then I took the next morning, I took those glasses off and I could see perfectly. So I don't know, overnight, but it was incredible.
All right. So LASIK eye surgery, something Christina and Marshall now recommending.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, better known for Horny as Smoked Meats over on the stream and on the Horde, obviously said a smoker.
Well, yeah.
And so I bought the grill earlier this year. First, fancy grill I've owned as an adult. I absolutely love it. I'm really, and you've talked about it too, I think within the next year or two, I'm going to get a smoker.
Yeah, I'm gonna be that dad in the front of my house with the smoker, just waving at everyone with the stupid apron on, just waving at people. Yeah, it's just Sunday, just smoking up some ribs, no big deal. Yeah, I know it smells great, Jim. I know it smells great. That's me. I'm gonna be that guy. Quickly, how about Kelly? And Kelly said this. Kelly Nettle. She goes, "How about a fleshlight?" Good for you. Good for you.
That an awkward purchase?
Is it?
I don't know.
I mean, it's not like you can go to Walmart and buy a fleshlight.
You can go to a porn store. Do you buy the fleshlight online?
But yeah.
Can you buy?
You can buy anything online.
No, I know. No, do you? Would you prefer buying it online or would you prefer buying it in person?
No, I'd rather buy it online.
You want to try it out? Make sure it works.
I don't think those dressing rooms at Sunset Novelties are for that purpose.
I don't know.
I don't think there's one that specifically says fleshlight tryout area. I don't think there's one available in there. And if there is, that's an issue.
Can you buy them on Amazon?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you buy porn stuff on Amazon?
Yeah.
How do you?
I think the moment you walk into a Sunset Novelties or a sex shop, you can't be embarrassed of anything you buy because everyone in there.
That's what they're there for.
The same reason, yeah.
Yeah, that's what unless you run into somebody you know.
Right.
Then it gets awkward.
Yeah.
You're both just standing there holding weird fetish porn.
Yeah.
It gets weird.
There's only so many butt plugs that you can explain. Right? More than one? That's an issue.
800-394-1061. What have you bought that has been super useful? You'd recommend it to a friend instantly. We got more of your stories next. Kotter and Marshall, Rock 1061. All right, I'm going to go grab my coffee.
Do that. All right. Back at it. Mike says, the Fozzy concert was badass. I got a guitar pick and a picture of Billy. Nice. Was Jericho doing any pictures? I'm guessing not after the show there. Sherry says, I would recommend a smoker. The taste is amazing. Yeah, I think I'm going to become a smoker guy eventually. Not like the Kotter way of smoking where he just smokes marijuana, but like an actual smoker of meat. Some jokes there too. Anyway. All right, guys, we got one more break we're going to dive into. Once again, thank you for dropping in your super useful items that you would recommend to a friend in an instant. We'll share more of those once we come back on the air. We're currently in commercials here at Rock 106.1. After that, we'll do some trivia for some Ayron Jones tickets. That's how you say his name, too. It's just not Ayron Jones. We got corrected, like right when he first came out. Is it Aaron? Ayron. Okay, sorry. Jericho didn't do any pictures. Yeah, I get that. He probably has to be extra safe because he does all the other stuff as well with the podcasting and wrestling and stuff. Sean says he's hoping to smoke this weekend, but highs of 52 and 59. Kotter, did you see that we have a cold front coming in this weekend?
I didn't look, but I was actually, when I got to the airport Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, I'm like, it's chilly. What's going on?
So let's see. I'm waiting for my weather app to update here. So over the weekend, and I'm talking like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, highs between 75 and 72.
Okay.
Lows between 52 and 55. That's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then we kind of jump up a little bit, but we have a kind of a heater of a weekend. High of 84 tomorrow, high of 86 on Saturday.
Oh, damn.
But starting Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, man, it is hoodie weather. I'm not talking about short sleeve hoodies like I'm wearing. Full hoodies, guys. Full hoodies. It's back. Let's go. Let's go. Hide that end of summer fat that you've been hiding all year long, actually, for me. But yeah, pretty great stuff.
Yeah, that means vest season almost back as well.
Oh shit! I cannot wait.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I am ecstatic. How about that?
I'm excited.
I'm going higher than this. I'm trying to outdo you right here. I'm so excited. Danielle, thank you so much for your answer here. Once again, we are asking the question of the day: what have you bought that has been super useful and you would recommend in an instant to a friend? Sandy says one of Fozzie's opening bands, 7 Year Witch, which everyone loves. She goes, I instantly fell in love with. Sandy does. And she says, everyone needs to check them out. Thanks again, Marshall. You're welcome. So 7 Year Witch actually opened up for Adelita's Way in March of this year. It was one of the first, like, COVID, we're back shows kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was a ton of people came out to it. People were just excited to get back out and see live music. And 7 Year Witch, a band from, I believe it's North Carolina, opened up for them. And I know a ton of people who fell in love with them.
Yeah.
And 7 Year Witch opened up again for Fozzy this past Friday. And they are fantastic.
We'll probably obviously just go into the solicit here.
Right after our final break here? Okay. I got obviously some stuff from the chat I'm going to bring up here on the third break, and just some stuff from the Facebook page.
Quick stuff from the Facebook page I was going to grab.
Charles says, this Saturday, I'm hoping to smoke this 10-pointer I've been seeing in my game cam. Smoke him with my 7-mag. All right, so we're all smokers. Thanks, Charles. Thanks for pointing that out. Michael corrected me. 7 Year Witch is actually from Anderson, South Carolina. Anderson. Sherry says 7 Year Witch is definitely worth checking out. Agreed. Yeah, would love those guys. Love those guys. I would love to see them come back and just headline a smaller show.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like a weird spot to do it, but I would love to see 7 Year Witch at the Wormhole.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I love
the room on Wormstock.
I don't know if they would actually fit on Wormstock. Wormstock's a little bit heavier. Actually, maybe not. They have Lilac on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Bring on 7 Year Witch. Probably the biggest surprise that happened while you were gone, Kotter, was the Chicago Bears shellacking of the Raiders, 20-9.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. So I was at an event for the radio station, our new one, La Pantera 96.1. Make sure to go like them on Facebook. And it was a massive Latin music event that was happening over at Shelter Cove in Hilton Head. It was awesome. Just the text messages and the Twitter follows I was just reading during that 4-hour event. I was so happy. I mean, the Bears were crushing the Raiders all day long. And then, of course, John Gruden quit the next day. So it was poetic that Khalil Mack, who was formerly of the Raiders, got to go beat his old team, the guy who traded him, and then the guy quit his team. Tony says, are you giving stickers out of the new station? Yes. We have 2 different color variations. Speaking of.
All right, we got about 3 minutes.
Michael says, how about my 0-5 Jags? Yeah, buddy. They're doing so terrible. Urban Meyer quits before the end of the season, you think?
Before the end? Nah, I think he'll make it to the end, but he's not back next year.
He's not back next year?
I don't think so either. Year.
I think there's some good coaches out there. Eric Bieniemy, who's the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, he's been looked over the last couple of years. And then there's the offensive coordinator for the Bills. Dude, the Bills are going to be in the Super Bowl. Mark my words, everyone, right here. The Buffalo Bills are so effing good, they'll be in the Super Bowl this year.
Really?
Guaranteed.
Okay.
Their defense is awesome, and their offense is just lights out good. And I'm not saying that because I've got Josh Allen as my starting quarterback of 2 out of 3 of my fantasy football leagues this year. They're that good.
All right, so we've talked about the best Halloween candies before. This is a list actually according to kids between 8 and 14.
I don't trust kids. Fuck
best
those kids.
Halloween candies.
Like MJF and Michael Jordan. F those kids.
Number 10, Twix.
I love Twix.
I do too. Number 9, peanut M&Ms.
Yes.
Number 8, Reese's Pieces.
Okay, so they're just peanut butter. We love peanut butter. Okay.
Number 7, Hershey's Kisses.
Okay.
Number 6, Gummy Bears.
Oh, wait. Number 7 is Hershey's Kisses?
Yes.
And that's better than peanut butter M&Ms?
Yes.
F those kids.
Number 6 is Gummy Bears. My wife loves Gummy Bears.
It's depending on where you get the Gummy Bears.
Got to be a particular kind.
Yeah, they're good. Yep. Yeah, my wife likes them too.
5 is Kit Kats.
Yeah, I like Kit Kats.
4 is Hershey Bars. You know what? A straight up Hershey bar, I can't say I'm a fan of.
No.
You get the dark chocolate Hershey's is good. The Hershey's with peanuts is good, but just a straight up Hershey's.
I don't think Now, Hershey's, obviously, they're just like a main component of s'mores, so I'm about it.
Yeah. We don't have time to take a call. Number 3, Milky Way. Regular M&Ms coming in at 2. I know your stance on regular M&Ms.
Garbage.
And then number 1, everybody's favorite, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mac.
Morning, Mac. All right, wish we had time. We do not have time to take the call. We got about 50 seconds.
All right. Whoever's calling us, call us again in 15 minutes.
Snickers, Starburst, Skittles, Crunch Bars, Jolly Ranchers, and Nerds also made the top 20. Nerds. I don't know.
Those are top Halloween candies, right?
Yeah. As voted on by kids 8 to 14. Do you want to lead off with one of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, be right back. What have you bought that has been super useful that you would recommend it to a friend instantly? We are taking your calls, comments, and texts this morning, 800-394-1061. What have you bought that's been super useful? You would recommend it to a friend in an instant.
So our friend Tony chimed in on the stream. Once again, we stream our show every single day via Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, so make sure to go find us, The Kotter and Marshall Show. Tony chimed in and said, it's a little weird at the time when she got it. A boyfriend bought it for her, but a small foldable Leatherman. Leatherman is like one of those little foldable things that has like pliers and a screwdriver and a knife and a corkscrew. She says, I cannot imagine my life without it. I use it for stupid uses like kids' straws was just too long. If I need to cut something, she goes, everyone needs a pocket knife and utility tool. And it's one of those things that it makes too much sense, but you never really think about it.
Right.
I'm constantly in need of one of these things, and I always have it in a drawer at my house. And I'm like, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. But I agree 100%, Tony.
Angela hit us up on Facebook. The Shark Robot Vacuum. It vacuums everything by itself at night. So you wake up to a clean floor.
At night, though, isn't that weird? I don't want to hear that running at night.
I don't know how loud it
Someone's
is.
breaking into my house.
I mean, it's those tiny little things, right?
Yeah.
It can't be that loud.
But I mean, like, when my dogs would probably freak out at it.
That's true.
Yeah,
You
my
have to
dogs
think about
suck.
Come on, they're not bad. Dustin hit us up. He said moon rocks. I don't think I have to explain. Actually, he did have to explain because I had to Google what a moon rock was. Are you familiar with moon rocks?
Pop rocks or moon rocks?
Moon rocks.
What are moon rocks?
Exactly. They are cannabis buds dipped or sprayed in hash oil.
Oh.
So,
because they send you to the moon.
I guess so, buddy.
Was it weird when you just lied to me and you said you had to Google it because you knew what it was?
I didn't know what it was.
Because you're a drug guy now?
I didn't know what it was.
Oh, okay. So you're so new of being a drug guy because
I'm still learning.
You're still learning to be a drug guy.
I'm not a master yet.
Yeah.
It's not like I have a black belt.
10,000 hours it takes to master a subject.
Oh, it's going
I've
to
been
take a
told.
while there.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while.
You got like 4 hours to go, drug guy. All right. Charles on the stream also said, but for real, to answer your question, I'm going to sound like an older dude, but I would recommend everyone buy term life insurance. He goes, just enough to pay off debt and funeral. I don't want to leave. He goes, you don't want to leave your spouse holding the bag. I get that. Also, I feel like his wife made him do that. Right?
His wife didn't want to be left holding the bag.
No.
He was like, I'm gone. Does it matter?
Yeah.
The wife's like, yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's so much work to do when someone dies. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the nice thing to do.
All right. Thank you to everybody who chimed in. What did you buy that was so useful you'd recommend it to a friend in an instant? Continue to hit us up with the text 800-394-1061 or on the chat. Right now, are you smarter than a community college dropout? It's time to play some trivia. We got Ayron Jones tickets to give away.
Yeah, he's playing next Saturday over at District Live, the brand new venue downtown. So the number, 1-800-394-1061. First caller in, you score tickets, then take on one of us.
Are you smarter than a community college dropout? Next, Rock 1061. Rock 1061, who's this?
It's Holly.
Hey.
I've missed y'all.
Holly, how you been?
I've been good. And yourself?
Good, good, good. All right, so here's the deal. 7 questions, 60 seconds. Who do you want to take on, Kotter or myself, Marshall?
I'll take on Marshall today.
Okay.
Love it.
All right, once again, Holly, you know the drill. 7 questions, 60 seconds. Your time will start as soon as I finish question number 1. If you don't know the answer to a question, feel free to say pass, and if we have time at the end, we'll come back to it, okay?
Okay.
All right, question number 1. It is multiple choice. What actor did one-handed push-ups when accepting his Best Supporting Actor award for his role in the movie City Slickers? Was it Warren Beatty, Marlon Brando, or Jack Palance?
B.
Incorrect. The phrase, "Where's the beef?" was used in ads in 1984 for what fast food restaurant?
Chick-fil-A.
Incorrect. What year was the Nintendo 64 console released in the United States? Was it 1996 or 2001?
96.
That is correct. What Major League Baseball player was known as the Say Hey Kid?
No, that one passed.
Okay. Who was the actor that first played the role of James Bond? Did you hear that one, Holly? Oh, we lost Holly. I don't know what happened. Holly went away. We lost Holly mid-quiz.
Oh, no.
I don't know what happened. Maybe this is her.
Oh, okay. I'll put my headphones back on.
Holly, is this you?
Yeah, I lost you. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
no worries. We're just going to pick right back up with question 5, which is where are we at. So here we go. Here's question 5. Who was the actor that first played the role of James Bond?
I don't know.
Okay. Last week, Gary Francis Post was identified by a volunteer group of investigators as what infamous serial killer? The BTK killer or the Zodiac killer?
Zodiac killer.
That is correct. Final question. What was the name of the 1993 best-selling memoir by radio personality Howard Stern?
I know this one.
Okay. And we lost Holly again. All right. We lost Holly a second time. She's having phone issues, but we got through the quiz.
Okay.
So we made this work. Holly got 2 out of 7.
Okay.
So, Holly, we'll get to you in a second. Marshall, you've got 7 questions, 60 seconds. You've got to top Holly's 2. I'm going to go out on a limb and say your chances are pretty good, but we'll find out.
Well, I'll be the determining factor of how dumb I am.
All right, here we go. Question number 1 is multiple choice. What actor did one-handed push-ups when he accepted his Best Supporting Actor award for his role in the movie City Slickers? Was it Warren Beatty, Marlon Brando, or Jack Palance?
Marlon Brando's in there? Jack Palance.
That is correct.
Nice.
The phrase, "Where's the beef?" was used in ads from 1984 for what fast food restaurant?
Wendy's.
Correct. What year was the Nintendo 64 console released in the United States, 1996 or 2001?
Wrote a paper on this. 1996.
That is correct. What Major League Baseball player was known as the Say Hey Kid?
Say hey? I have no idea. Pass.
Who was the first actor that played the role of James Bond?
Sean Connery.
Correct. Last week, Gary Francis Post was identified by a volunteer group of investigators as what infamous serial killer? The BTK killer or the Zodiac killer?
Zodiac.
That is correct. And finally, what was the name of the 1993 best-selling memoir by radio personality Howard Stern?
Private Parts.
That is correct. We still have time. So what Major League Baseball player was known as the Say Hey Kid? You got a couple seconds.
Manny Ramirez.
That is incorrect. All right, Marshall. Well, you got 6 out of 7.
Whoops.
Holly got 2. Don't worry, Holly will take care of you. You got some tickets for Ayron Jones playing District Live coming up here in just a couple weeks. Right now, let's go over the correct answers. Yeah, Jack Palance was in the movie City Slickers. Older gentleman, won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, got up on stage and was doing one-arm push-ups.
Kind of a show-off, kind of a try-hard move, but good for him.
Very much so. Where's the Beef from Wendy's commercials in 1984. Nintendo 64 came out in 1996. The Major League Baseball player known as the Say Hey Kid, Willie Mays.
Of course.
Yeah.
How can I not know that?
Sean Connery, the first actor to play the role of James Bond. It was the Zodiac killer identified as Gary Francis Post. And finally, Howard Stern, that best-selling memoir later turned into a movie, was Private Parts. Back at it tomorrow. Are you smarter than a community college dropout? We'll play at 7:30. Kotter and Marshall Show. Rock 106.1.
All right, guys. Cotter's going to edit that up. We'll be back on the live stream here in about 3 minutes. All right, there we go. Back on the live stream after Kotter edited it up. Are you smarter than a community college dropout trivia? Turns out Holly wasn't today, but it's okay because she scored herself some Ayron Jones tickets. Yeah, I haven't been watching a ton of TV, but the little TV I have been watching has been a lot of The Sopranos. So I think, within like 3 episodes of finishing up season 3 of The Sopranos. Then I'm going to take a break from The Sopranos for a few weeks, and I'm going to catch up on a few other TV shows that we've been kind of watching in the background. First up is Midnight Mass, which is a show that Tony just talked about on the stream. Sean, horny for smoked meats, was just mentioning that he just finished the first 3 episodes of Squid Game.
Yeah, the wife and I hopefully will finish that up before this weekend. I was unable. I was going to watch it when I was in Texas, and I couldn't remember the password for my Netflix account. Thought, yeah, I'll watch it later. I quickly gave up.
Yeah, Squid Game is super cool. Loved it. So this coming weekend, they're doing the DC Comics Fandom, which is what they've been doing the last couple of years instead of going to like the San Diego Comic-Con, mostly because it hasn't been happening. So the DC Fandom is going to be on Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so 1 p.m. our time. And they are most likely going to be showing off a new trailer for The Batman, which is the new film with Robert Pattinson as Batman. And that movie's coming out early next year. So it's going to be the first look at that. They'll also be showing off a bunch of new comic book stuff. Probably get an update on, I'm guessing we'll probably see probably a couple trailers for like the new Shazam film, possibly a new Flash trailer. And then Aquaman, they'll probably show some behind-the-scenes stuff, but they've been filming Aquaman 2 for the last couple weeks, maybe up to a month now. So they may show some stuff off about that. They've got some new video games for the Justice League and the Gotham Knights game, which is like the new Batman Arkham Asylum game. So if you're a big DC comic book fan, there's going to be lots of like movie, TV show, and comic book stuff coming out over the weekend. And you can watch it for free via a live stream. That's happening Saturday starting at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then they also do it Sunday starting... Oh, no, it's just Saturday. I apologize.
I'm excited about the new Batman movie. Going back, I only watched it the one time, so I'm not really basing it on anything. The Aquaman movies, don't care. Jason Momoa, I think, carried it on charisma alone, but as a movie...
Yeah, I know. I like the Aquaman film. I just thought it was really, really long, and I think they're probably just going to do another 2.5-hour movie of Aquaman doing Aquaman shit.
Yeah.
So. But no, I'm excited to check that out. And then obviously the Flash movie is very cool because Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman there.
And Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck's going to be in that film as well. So Flash, and I think it's going to be called Flashpoint or whatever. That's the whole comic book arc called Flashpoint. I'm really interested in seeing that.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool. I am excited about... I mean, Batman's my all-time favorite comic book character. And... most of the movies outside of, when it got weird after Burton left, most of the movies are solid.
Mm-hmm.
And even the campy ones are fun. Can be fun, I'll say. Can be fun. So, I don't know. I'm excited about this. Anything that's a little bit more serious or a different take on it, and it sounds like that's what this is going to be, I think could be cool.
Red says he watched The Many Saints of Newark. That is the Sopranos prequel. He said it was pretty good. It was cool to see Tony's early life. Yeah, I think that's one of those movies I want to kind of check out because I think, and maybe Rhett, you can let me know. Can I watch The Many Saints of Newark and still like catch on to most of the stuff that's going on there, like that I would have caught or watched in the series? Because I'm at the midway point of the Sopranos series. There's 6 seasons of the series. Yeah. Or was there technically 6.5? Because they did they did season 6A and 6B. There were 7, I guess. So I'm about halfway through. But can I still watch the mini Saints of Newark and catch on to everything that's going on, or should I really watch the entire Sopranos series, then go watch that movie?
So the guy that I was talking about earlier, Bob Schneider, is actually going to be in Duluth, Georgia, November 12th. So if anybody wants to check him out, Red Clay Music Foundry, Friday, November 12th. He's really good.
That's the guy that you said like walked in the back door, then walked out the back door?
Right out and left. He's got some great stage presence. He's funny. I don't know what type of show you'll get. This from Monday night show at Saxon is like an Uber Bob Schneider nerdy fan type of thing, because that's when he just plays weird random stuff you probably won't hear normally.
Mm-hmm.
But great stage presence, incredible musician, great songwriter. So yeah, if you're wanting to check him out, I recommend it.
Rhett says, yes, you will recognize most of the names. Cool. Yeah, I want to watch the Mini Saints of Newark. I'm excited to check that out. All right, so in the 8 o'clock hour today, are we currently playing back trivia, or is it over? Oh, yeah,
it's playing now.
We're currently playing back Are You Smarter Than a Community College Dropout trivia. After that, we'll go into some commercials because, we got to pay the bills. And then after that, top of the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to talk a little Marvel Cinematic Universe, Bill Murray possibly being in it. I got a quick story about a world record pub crawl, and then we'll get into Quizzed in the Face. Kotter, once again, your Quizzed in the Face today is a quiz that I made up. I got the idea coming home from watching a movie. I don't know why it popped into my head, but being that it's October, it's the month of being spooky, being scared, you are going to name some predators. So NHL kicked off 2 nights ago, their season.
Mm-hmm.
Blackhawks lost, I think, 3-0 last night. They suck, in case anyone's wondering. With the NHL season kicking off, you're going to name whether these names I give you are Nashville Predators, hockey players, or predators, as in serial killers.
Can you tell me whether they sport a mullet?
How about this? After each guess, I will let you know what they're known for.
Okay.
So, yeah. If it's a predator, I will let you know their kill count and what they're known for. And if it's a hockey player, I'll let you know their number and what position they play.
All right.
Yeah. Sean says, I don't know if it made national news or anything, but did you all hear about the shooting at the bar in downtown St. Paul? It was at the 7th Street Park, a place I loved to pregame before the Wild hockey game. Sucks because it was a great place.
No, I didn't hear about it.
Yeah. So speaking of shootings, Wanda, our good friend Wanda, actually posted just the other day about a shooting that happened near those soccer fields, I think on Sally Moon. I didn't hear anything about that until she posted. I didn't see any news coverage at all.
I didn't either, because I saw you post about it, Wanda, and obviously not knowing the premise or what it was, I didn't know how big of a thing it was, so I'm trying to find something anywhere. There was absolutely nothing.
There's nothing.
And then I guess it wasn't it sounded like it was a isolated incident and they've arrested somebody already.
Oh.
So I later saw that. So
sorry, I'm going to bounce out for 1 second.
Okay.
Use the restroom.
I'm going to save that until Marshall gets back because I want his opinion on that. That could be interesting. All right, so we've got about 30 seconds left in trivia. Like I said, top of the 8 o'clock hour. Is Bill Murray finally heading into the Marvel Universe? What actors should be in the MCU? Got a couple that we'll throw out there for you. So if you have any you'd like to add to the list, feel free to hit us up on the chat or with the text, 800-394-1061. But what actors who haven't been in the MCU or what actors should be in the MCU? Like Marshall said, a world record pub crawl that I would like to try to break. I'll have the big guy on after 9 o'clock. Demi Lovato had an interesting take on using the term aliens when referring to extraterrestrial life. And then we'll wrap up the show with Marshall's music news. So still lots to get to as we're finally back. Thank you guys for hanging out for the past week or so. Much needed vacay. It was delightful. I enjoyed literally every minute of it. I crammed in as much live music as humanly possible. Just hung out with my family. Austin, Texas, a great place to visit. Anybody go see the James Bond movie when it came out? I believe it came out Friday. I did not. I probably will not go see it. It'll be one to wait until it comes out. Like James Bond, don't love it, so I'm not committed enough for the big screen edition. So just curious if anybody saw it and what they thought of it. So if you saw the new James Bond movie over the weekend, hit us up. Let me know. A little curious. Do we have a beer for breakfast guest tomorrow?
No, I was having issues booking someone this week.
Okay.
So we do have a couple guests lined up for the next 2 weeks. Excited to say we have Chris Moody from Mood Rights and Over Yonder coming in next Friday on the 22nd. And then a good friend Steven from United Beverage, I believe, is coming in on the 29th. He was just getting one final okay from his bosses, but it looks like I have the next 2 weeks. We are in need of a guest tomorrow. I was going to work on that after the show today.
You can reach out to our buddy Jeremy. He recently made an announcement.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I could reach out to Jeremy.
So, not that we'll probably have to, get some beer, but he'd be a good guest, I think. We could chat it up to him about his thing he's got going on.
Underdog.
I love it. I don't know if you saw this story recently, Marshall. James Gunn, Guardian in the Galaxy fame, Suicide Squad, wants to make a Gilligan's Island movie.
Oh, Christ.
You see this story?
No.
But with a dark twist. In his version, the castaways get desperate and hungry and start killing and eating each other. So, here's the story behind this. This idea originally came from Charlie Kaufman. Now, he was the guy back in the 90s, did Adaptation, being John Malkovich, wrote Eternal Sunshine on the Spotless Mind. Weird, awesome movies. So Gunn said Kaufman actually pitched the idea back in the 90s. Warner Brothers into it, wanted to do it. However, creator Sherwood Schwartz, no, you're not going to do this.
Right.
So recently, after Gunn hit it big with Guardians, he went back to Warner Brothers and Kaufman and is like, look, I want to do this. Let's revisit, because Schwartz passed away. Mm-hmm. His family came in and be like, no, you're not doing it. So they nixed it.
Yeah.
But Gunn says if they ever change their mind, he is ready to go.
Yeah, James Gunn's done some horror stuff before, so it could be kind of cool.
If you're going to reboot something, it's like the Munster thing. I hope it's got a dark twist to it. I don't want to see the TV version. This would be awesome. I don't need a Gilligan's Island movie. You make it where they're cannibals, I'm kind of in.
Well, it was forced cannibalism. They're not,
Well, no, I get it. But
are you a cannibal? How about, no, that's a good question. Are you a cannibal?
No.
If you're forced to eat someone because you're so hungry and you're on a desert island. Are you a cannibal?
Well, let's look up the actual definition of cannibal.
Or is that just having forced cannibalism upon you?
Is cannibalism a choice?
Yes. I would think so.
Let's see what the definition is.
It's a good moral question. Are you officially a cannibal if you eat another human, but if you're in a very perilous situation where you can't, and there's nothing else to eat, like it's death, or you eat Jim, who I've brought up a couple times. Jim Miller will kill you and eat you. Sorry. But we'll do karate in your garage first.
The practice of eating the flesh of one's own species.
All right, so it says practice.
The practice.
So that means you have to do it more than once. What if you just do it once?
It depends. A person who practiced cannibalism is called a cannibal.
So Charles says, poor Skipper, they're going to cook his fat ass first.
Dude, Gilligan? Gilligan's annoying. Can we just say it? He's annoying. Get rid of Gilligan first.
Yeah. No, he's really scrawny.
Yeah, but still.
You want someone with some meat.
I don't know.
You want to keep the dock, right?
You want to keep the dock. You got to keep Skipper.
Why? There's no boat. What's he going to do?
I don't know.
Kill Skipper.
No, Gilligan's useless.
Yeah, but at least you can make Gilligan, he's going to be a complete beta, and you can make him do whatever you want. You keep Gilligan, you kill the Skipper first, because he's worth, like, what skills does he have?
He's got to have some survivalist stuff going on.
You keep the ladies for obvious reasons.
Or do you get rid of the Howls first?
Oh, the old people?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
Meat's going to be tender, maybe tough, I don't know.
Tough.
Yeah. Maybe the Howls.
Rhett says eat the rich old guy first. Yeah, maybe.
Thurston Howell the third.
That should be a question, a thing we do one day. Like, in what order would you eat the cast of Gilligan's Island?
Yeah, Gilligan's one.
What's that?
Gilligan, I still think's one. He's just annoying. Or maybe the Howls. Maybe go Howls first. They've lived a life.
Tony says get rid of the useless and skinny first. Leave the heavy for a massive meal.
All right, guys, got about 3 minutes. Going to talk Marvel. Is Bill Murray joining the MCU? Then dive into what actors need to be in the MCU. If you got any suggestions, let us know. Who plays Gilligan in the movie? John Goodman plays the Skipper, right?
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Because I mean, you've seen him in darker roles. He was in the Cloverfield, one of the Cloverfield movies, where he kind of played a darker character. And his character in Big Lebowski, not all sunshine and rainbows. I think if you put that character, if you needed a more realistic version of the Skipper and not the cartoony character from the TV show, I think Goodman would be perfect.
I don't know who you make play Gilligan. That's a good one.
Gilligan's tough. I think that role is tough because what does that character look like in a more serious take on the cast?
The dude who played Pennywise from the new It movies, maybe.
Oh, Skarsgård? Is one of the Skarsgård people?
I don't know why that was just the first person that I thought of there.
Andrew Lincoln as the professor.
Oh, Rick from Walking Dead? Yeah, okay, I see that. Yeah, you could pull that off. Sean says the old people would be beef jerky, all tough and leathery.
Yeah.
Sean knows a lot about meat, so, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with him.
Ooh, Tony's got a good thing. Keep one of the rich alive in case you need them for leverage. It's a good call. It's a good call.
But if you cut off their arms and legs and just tourniquet them so you can eat them, they're alive, but they're changed forever.
All right, guys, got about a minute 20.
Charles actually has a good one. He said Johnny Knoxville for Gilligan.
Oh, shoot. Dude, great call. I can see that. Yeah. I like that.
It was Bob Denver who played Gilligan?
Bob Denver.
Is that it? Who played him?
Bob Denver, the musician?
That's John Denver.
John Denver. Yeah, then it had to be. Yeah, it was Bob Denver.
Yeah. How do I know Gilligan, but you don't? You probably watched that show growing up.
I watched the reruns, sure.
When did it air?
Probably, I think it aired way before my time. The pilot was in 1963. I'm not that old. They only ran for 3 seasons. And then they did all of those weird spin-offs with the Harlem Globetrotters.
What?
Oh, yeah. They did a bunch of movies after the fact. It did several movies and cartoon versions, I think, with the Harlem Globetrotters. All right, guys, be right back.
98 episodes.
Is Bill Murray about to join the MCU? Got that story coming up. Good morning. Thank you for hanging out. It's Kotter and Marshall Show. Don't forget, hop on the stream. You can watch the show every day, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. While you're there, give us a like, follow, and subscribe. Now, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's large. Got a lot of different actors involved. However, still all kinds of actors haven't joined the MCU. Now, there are rumors going around that Bill Murray could be joining the cast of the latest Ant-Man and Wasp movie, Quantum Mania.
So, I mean, he's not going to star in the movie.
No.
It would be kind of a bit part that he'll show up. He'll do 2 days of work, and they'll pay Bill Murray $1 million.
I think this is a good movie for his introduction into the MCU. This or Guardians, make it something that's got a little bit of humor to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he would probably fit in that world nicely.
Well, Ant-Man is the worst of the MCU movies. They are. I mean,
The worst, but I don't hate him.
Yeah, I know.
Do you hate him?
Yeah. Oh, I don't like him.
Really?
I wouldn't say I like him.
I mean, I enjoyed him.
In all the MCU movies,
I agree. I mean,
Ant-Man's kind of the weakest character.
I don't know. Well, okay, weakest character, sure. But I mean,
and weakest films.
Do you like Captain Marvel better than Ant-Man? That movie?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she's hot and she wore a 9 Inch Nails shirt. So boom, winner.
That's all it took?
That's all. Honestly, can you remember anything from the Ant-Man films?
There was ants.
Exactly. Right. Yep. Yeah. There was an ant called Anthony, and that's about as far as the comedy went. So I'm good.
All right. So back in 1975, Bill Murray actually played a Marvel character. This was way before the MCU. Now it was for a radio drama of the Fantastic Four. Basically, they were just reading the comic books, and he actually played the character of the Human Torch.
Let's observe another scene at Swanson's garage.
Oh, we got her purring like a lamb, Johnny boy.
Good, that's the way it should be. There's only one thing I like better than working on cars.
What's that? Hey, look. What's that in the sky?
That's my cue. Flame on.
Hey, Johnny, what's happening to you?
Remember me saying there's only one thing I like better than working on cars? Well, this is it.
The figure which just seconds before had been Johnny Storm is now the Human Torch, flying through the skies like a flaming meteor.
This is before SNL. This is the pre-SNL Bill Murray.
Right. I mean, he really threw his whole heart and soul into that role. You could hear the enthusiasm just come through in that vocal performance from the legend that is now Bill Murray.
All right, so he is rumored to be joining the latest Ant-Man flick. Kind of got us thinking. All kinds of actors that could be in the MCU. And I mean, they're going to have to be introducing a bunch of new characters as they, retire some old ones or change things out. So coming up next, we got a list of actors that should be making their way in the MCU. This is just kind of like our guesses and speculations who we'd like to see there. Who do you think should act in the MCU? You can hit us up with the text 800-394-1061 or comment on the chat. But we got our list after Volbeat. Here's the latest. It's Shotgun Blues, Kotter and Marshall Show, Rock 1061.
Let's see. Yeah, Matthew, actually, Sherry made a good point. She goes, the dude that played Shaggy would pull off a Gilligan. Matthew Lillard is his name.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he'd be good too, yeah.
And watching him from Scream, once again, could be dark, that dark and more serious tone. I think Matthew Lillard is actually kind of an underrated actor. I think he's really good.
He is really good. He's in an incredible film. It's a small indie film called SLC Punk.
Yes.
That's a great film if you haven't checked out.
Such a good movie.
Tony says he's so gangly it would work. He is not bad in the series Good Girls. Sean says he couldn't stand the Doctor Strange movies. He put movies plural, but there's only been one. The next film, which I think comes out next year, which is directed by Sam Raimi, called Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That one I think is good. I think Doctor Strange as a character is much stronger than Ant-Man. And I think there's a lot more to go with than, Ant-Man. He's like, I have a suit that makes me big and small and regular size. Like, I'm over it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I didn't. Doctor Strange, like I said, I don't think I don't think I can say I really hate any of the MCU movies. There's some
Thor 2. If you can't say you hate Thor 2, then you're just lying to us and you can't be trusted.
Fair enough. No, that's fair enough. But I would say the Doctor Strange movie, in my opinion, was just okay. I love the character in other things.
Yeah.
But as a standalone movie, it was okay.
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of a waste of having Mads Mikkelsen, who's an incredible actor, play a villain that was super boring as hell. So I wish he could have had a better go when it came to being in the MCU. But I've got a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 actors who I would like to see in the MCU.
I think I did 1, 2, 3. I also did 6. There you go. One of them's, I don't know if they're technically in the MCU. I think by default maybe already, but
it's the same person I have. It's got to be.
Okay, but I see them as another character that I would like to see.
Sean says I have SLC Punk and on VHS and DVD. Love that movie. See, Matthew Lillard's not in this film, but if you're talking about little indie darling movies that I don't think people have seen enough, SLC Punk, which stands for Salt Lake City Punk, and Pool Hall Junkies are like two of my favorite, like, little tiny movies that, like, no one knows about. Like, these are the movies that you bring up when you get into conversation with your buddies, drinking beers. You're like, oh, man, this little movie that no one's seen. Like, I've got two. Like, those are the movies you bring up that, like, are killers.
I love Pool Hall Junkies is fantastic. It's kind of like the Rounders of the pool world.
Yeah, that's a great way of explaining it.
And after watching Rounders, I remembered, I'm like, oh, Pool Hall Junkies. I tried to find it streaming. I couldn't find it. Not even to rent.
Yeah, it's. I don't think it's available on streaming services. I have a copy of it on DVD, or maybe Blu-ray. One of them, and it's in my garage right now. That's the one I will not let go of.
So good. What's his face is in it?
Christopher Walken.
Thank you. Rick Schroeder's in it.
Oh, Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah,
nice.
Oh gosh,
such a douchebag.
Such a good movie. And Rounders is a great movie. I like it better than Rounders. And because it kind of has got the same feel to it.
You know what? I don't ever remember watching Rounders. I'm sure I've seen it, but it's been that long.
All right, guys, be right back. So it's rumored that Bill Murray will be joining the MCU in the upcoming Ant-Man and Wasp movie. So it got us thinking, what other actors should be joining the MCU? If you got any suggestions, hit us up, 800-394-1061 with a text or comment on the chat. Marshall, the cool thing about the MCU as it expands, we're going to see, different characters, even if they're comic book characters we're less familiar with, because obviously you come out with the big guns if you're going to introduce the MCU, but it makes it easier now to introduce maybe some B-level characters because you're just already invested in the MCU as a whole. So what are some actors that you would like to see join the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Ooh, let's go. I know we have one that's on the list that way. I think it's the same, but I'll leave that one for later. How about this? How about just Jamie Lee Curtis?
Okay.
Jamie Lee Curtis / Sigourney Weaver. I choose both because to me, they're like the same sexy, beautiful lady that I grew up with in all my favorite movies like Halloween and Aliens and everything. Like both of them could be in a role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It doesn't need to be a big fancy role,
right?
A big thing, but I think they could be amazing side characters. Maybe in like maybe we haven't touched the X-Men yet.
Yeah,
throw them into whatever the X-Men needs to be. Like whatever characters they can be in there. Give me that.
I like both of those suggestions. Those are solid. One of mine, because we're going to get the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Going to need another Doctor Doom. What about Christoph Waltz?
Christoph Waltz is Dr. Doom?
Yes.
He's just a great villain. I agree.
And that's the thing with Christoph Waltz, obviously from a lot of the Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yep. James Bond as well.
Oh, yeah. Throw him in any villain role, and I think I'm in. What about Magneto? If we finally get the X-Men and the mutants in it, him as Magneto, awesome.
That would be interesting for sure. How about this one? And I think it's the one we both have on the list. Same. Tom Hardy, who's already part of Venom, he's in like that side Marvel Cinematic Universe with Sony. How about him coming on? Obviously, Wolverine is the popular choice. I would love to see him in an official MCU role outside of Venom.
I love him as Wolverine, and it's like I think Hugh Jackman was cast so perfectly as that role. He played it over a dozen times. So picturing anybody else is kind of hard to do. But I think if you're going to do it, I think somebody like Tom Hardy, who's going to bring, I think, a whole different type of energy to the role. Oh, man, I'm in on that 100%.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely got more of a rage factor inside of him. What about Mary Elizabeth Winstead? Ramona Flowers from Scott Pilgrim is what she's known for. She's been in a bunch of stuff. She's married to Obi-Wan Kenobi, whatever his real name
Ewan
is.
McGregor?
That's it. That guy right there, your boyfriend. She I think would be incredible as a part of the MCU, like a rogue character.
Yes.
Maybe playing an older version of it. I think she'd do amazing work.
All right, sticking kind of with the Fantastic Four, because I was kind of who can play these roles. Obviously, there is John Krasinski. He's been brought up as Mr. Fantastic quite a bit.
He's going to be Mr. Fantastic.
You think so?
Guaranteed.
What about Dean Norris from Breaking Bad as the Thing?
Is he too old?
It doesn't matter. Does it matter? Well, does the age and the thing matter?
I don't know, ladies. Does it?
But I mean, it could be an older guy, right?
Sure. I don't know. I think he seems a bit too old to play that role. I want him to be, because I mean, the Fantastic Four I think are within kind of the same age range. Sure. They're all like, I feel like maybe a little too old for that role, but I don't hate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last one I got on
as long as he's drinking his Schroeder beer the entire time.
The last one I got on my list. And after kind of diving into the comic books a little bit, it's the character I think I'm most excited about. Namor, the Submariner, the way cooler version of Aquaman.
Yeah.
I think
really cooler.
Aquaman in the comic books, or Aquaman, what you know from like the cartoons in the 70s, not a cool character.
Okay.
Namor is a pretty cool character. I'm excited to see if they bring him in. What about Keanu Reeves in that role?
Yeah, Keanu Reeves wet is mostly a lot of girls' dreams, and I totally get that. What about just Nicolas Cage in general? Not maybe playing Namor.
Not Namor. I mean, he was already
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
I mean him anymore because you got the Nicolas Cage renaissance going on. I'll watch him in anything. So if you put him in something big budget like this, yeah.
What about Namor? What if they role reversal, gender reversal?
Yeah.
Uma Thurman. I could watch her doing anything wet.
Her in anything.
Yeah.
Wet, dry, doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, preferably wet.
All right, what about you? What actor should join the MCU? Hit us up with the text, 800-394-1061. You can also comment on the chat. Coming up next, we're going to talk a new Guinness World Record. Not going to lie. I would love to attempt to break this record. Just throwing it out there. We'll tell you what it is coming up next. Kotter and Marshall, Rock 1061.
Let's see. Rhett dropped his top 4 MCU actors. Nick Cage, Keanu Reeves, Uma Thurman, Peter Dinklage, and Simon Pegg. I had Simon Pegg on my list over here. I just didn't get to it. Tony says, Rhett, technically Nicolas Cage, Peter Dinklage, and Keanu Reeves are in the MCU family. Oh, sorry. She mistaken herself with Constantine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're in the Marvel family, but not the MCU. I mean, Ghost Rider isn't MCU canon. And what was Dinklage in?
Dinklage was in the X-Men.
Oh, he was in the
like the second series of X-Men films. He was like in the second film for like, I don't know, 2 minutes. Not
necessarily MCU canon, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right, guys, talking this world record pub crawl. Then we'll get into Quizzed in the Face. Cotter's getting quizzed in the face today about predators. NHL predators or serial killer predators. I got speaking of, I brought it up earlier today, WTOC via Twitter says, #breaking news. The suspect and victim have been identified in last night's shooting at an athletic complex in Savannah. Funny enough, we were just talking about that on the stream. Let me pop it up real quick. So let's see. The Savannah Police Department is investigating a shooting that killed one person at the Jennifer Ross Soccer Complex on Tuesday night. According to the police department, the shooting happened in the parking lot of the athletic complex around 8:15. Raja Young, 27 years old, was injured in the shooting and was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police confirmed a person of interest was immediately detained at the scene. Police say that the person, 26-year-old Mario Wallace, has been booked into the Chatham County Jail on a murder charge. The victim and the suspect knew each other, according to police. Witnesses told that children were playing soccer and football at the complex. This dude's just a real big piece of shit. I mean, murdering that guy, but like doing it in front of kids and like close to kids where he could have injured them. Obviously, he doesn't give a shit about that, but that guy should spend the rest of his life in jail.
Yeah, agreed.
I think Wanda, who obviously is part of the horde here watching the live stream, I mean, I think she said her kid was actually at the soccer complex.
Oh, shoot.
So,
there's a new TikTok trend, or I guess it's coming back. Scalp popping. Have you heard of this?
No, what's that?
It's if you have somebody has fairly long hair, you basically take their hair, you twist it around your finger, then you yank. It's not to rip the hair out, but it's to pull the scalp from your skull.
flat out, if anyone tries that with me, I'm going to beat the living shit out of you.
There's a popping sound when you do it. No, I'm out. I'm out 100%. I can't even think
That's a TikTok trend?
Yes.
And you do it, obviously, do you do it to yourself or do you do it to someone else?
I don't know. And I don't care anymore. It just sounds so disgusting.
Thanks for bringing that up.
You're welcome. As soon as it said there's a pop to it, I'm like, nope, I'm out.
Your old man knees and ankles pop probably all the time.
Yeah, but I'm used to that pop. Ripping your scalp from your skull.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Wanda's kid wasn't at the soccer complex. She goes, she was just going to get her from work, and she was driving by and saw all of it. Wild stuff, guys. So I'm going to reach out to, speaking of, I'm going to reach out to Jeremy real quick and see if he'll join us for beer for breakfast tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So I texted the big guy last night. Let me make sure.
I believe he's on the road with the Eagles.
Okay.
George Southern.
Okay.
Not
So
Golden State. That's another GS.
So I texted him the games that you sent me. He never responded. Usually I at least get a thumbs up. So hopefully he's around this morning.
Yeah, so I saw that he was on a plane yesterday, possibly, if not the day before. But yeah, I believe he's on the road with the Eagles right now. He's become quite famous too. I mean, see, he's gotten like 6 million views on TikTok with his fall in front of the George Southern Cannon, which is quite funny.
Oh, that is good.
All right, shot Jeremy a quick message. Tony says, it is the tear of the fascia that makes that sound. Ugh.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
That's not a top 10 sound, I'm guessing you want to hear. Sean says, oh, Rhett, there are some absolute amazing Drew Estate cigars. Oh, okay.
All right, we're getting into some Foo Fighters, My Hero. We'll talk the story about the world record-setting one-man pub crawl.
After that, we'll do Quiz in the Face. We'll talk to the big guy, Frank Sulkowski, top the 9 o'clock hour, and we'll wrap up the show with some Marshall's music news. Music news today, mostly because it'll be news to Kotter as well, because I changed almost all the stories on it. Today, we're going to be talking about Kerry King, a Slayer. Okay. You kind of almost brought that one up before I stopped you earlier. Talking about his band and possibly why they should get back going and playing. We'll talk about Coachella. They've changed some rules on who can attend their music and arts festival next year. And then one story we kept from the line I threw at you. We'll talk about Ghost real quick, do a quick story about those fellas. So I think we'll kick off with Slayer.
Okay.
And then we'll just go down the line that I kind of talked about those. We'll go Slayer, Coachella, and we'll wrap up the show with Ghost. Jeremy says he could do November. Can't do tomorrow. So,
bummer. Okay.
Who else are we looking for beer for breakfast guests tomorrow? Still want to get big guy in.
He's out of town, though.
Yeah, he's out of town. But November we'll have tons of guests. I'm excited about that. And then I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna try to get the guys from Two Tides in. They're doing their Metal Fest again Thanksgiving weekend.
Mm-hmm. Black Friday.
Tony, have a good one.
See you later, Tony.
I want to get in country music superstar Chris Jansen. You think he'll come and drink beer with us tomorrow?
Why not?
Sadly, he's not in town. But I am getting quite a few emails right now about getting a Zoom call with our friends over at Bob 106.9. Chris Jansen's got a show over at Hunter Army Airfield on Saturday, November 13th. And I'm setting up some Zoom calls with Jake and Mac so they could talk to him and get some great content.
All right, we've got about a minute.
What if for tomorrow we just got the guys from Springfield Southern Motors Honda to drive down the car that I want to buy for my wife? They do beer for breakfast, and then afterwards we just drink and drive and take the car out for a spin.
I think chances are you'd lose your endorsement. If that's
there is no endorsement.
Oh, okay.
There is no endorsement.
Then you're fine.
Yeah, fine. What am I going to do? Just wreck their car? It ain't mine.
Yet.
Yet. Joke's on them.
All right, guys, got about 20 seconds. We'll be right back. Marshall, I've always wanted to attempt to set a Guinness World Record.
Mm-hmm.
I think I found the one we should go for.
Interesting.
All right. Got that story next. As a kid, always loved, when you got to buy a book through school, always loved getting the Guinness Book of World Records, something I picked up every year. Back before it was this huge, massive, hard-covered book where you got, like, colored pictures. It was this small, tiny little thing with just little tiny black and white photos. But I loved it, and I'm always like in the back of my mind, one day, I'm going to set a Guinness World Record.
Okay.
I have not done that.
No, I know.
Like many things in life, I have failed at it. Never tried, which is the problem. But I think I found the world record I'm most qualified for.
Okay.
Matt Ellis of England. Now, he wanted to do his part to raise awareness for local pubs. They were hit hard during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So what he did, he decided to set the Guinness World Record for visiting the most pubs in 24 hours.
Now, he had to drink essentially like a pint of...
It's only 4 ounces.
4 ounces.
4 ounces.
So, hold on. Is it 1/3 of a pint?
Yeah. And it didn't have to be beer, so you don't have to be loaded.
Yeah, so he actually talked about this. So he drank orange juice and Diet Coke at 51 different pubs where he set the record with this Guinness World Record. He said there's only so much drink you can get into your body, so it became very, very difficult after he would drink like a quarter pint or 1/3 a pint, and then he would run to the next pub because he had to fit them all in within that time period.
Now, there were some guidelines set up by Guinness because I don't think there was a previously established record. So it sounds like this guy was setting the mark with the very first record. Had to visit at least 50 pubs. He did 51. Had to be monitored by witnesses, and he had to be verified from pub staff, and he had to drink basically 4 ounces of anything at each stop. So, in theory, I'm like, we could do this. We could 100% do this. The problem is we don't have any. Do we have any 24-hour bars?
I don't think so.
In the area. So, I mean, we'd have to find ones that, and does it have to be a bar only? Can you go into a bar restaurant type situation?
I think as long as they serve alcohol, I think you're good.
So, I mean, we just have to find ones. We have to start really, really early. Places that serve stuff bright and early in the morning. I think this is doable.
I think you could probably fit it in a lot less time than he did.
It seems like it took him forever, right?
Yeah, I feel like, and especially downtown Savannah,
you can hit up multiple ones per hour.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to attempt this record.
So I want you to go for that. I want to go for something a little bit more simpler. I want to be the guy that breaks 157 coconuts with my bare hands. You've seen those videos on TikTok and stuff where the guy just goes down this line and breaks them all this. I want to do that one.
I don't know if that's simpler.
Yeah, no, I just feel like I could do that. And as soon as I saw that, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing ever, and I could totally do this.
Okay, I'm buying a coconut. I'm going to bring it into the studio.
I'm gonna smash the hell out of it.
Start with one.
You better move your hand quick because your hand will explode if I hit it. These mitts right here, they hurt things.
Done and done. I'm buying a coconut.
They smash things.
We'll see if this
I'm the
works.
Hulk over here, bro. Ooh, I'll wear Hulk hands when I do it.
All right, coming up next, Marshall is going to quiz me in the face on Predators.
Yeah, it's a big-time Predator quiz. Obviously, the NHL season started just 2 days ago. And, of course, it's October, the spooky season. So you'll be guessing between NHL Nashville Predators or serial killer Predators.
All right, quizzed in the face coming up after Green Day. It's Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Kotter and Marshall. Rock 106.1.
All right, let me make sure I have this set. Good to go. Perfecto.
I'm serious. I think if you map this out, it will come down to the timing, because it's like you're gonna have to find places that are open early. I mean, you're gonna have to do a majority of your of the run, from like noon on, noon until. Now, it's like I guess you don't have to start technically at midnight. A lot of bars open until 4, so I mean maybe you could pull it off. I guess the other thing is too, can somebody drive you from bar to bar? Because we definitely would have to be spread out a little bit.
I think you could do it in downtown Savannah and work your way downtown towards Forsyth and find more than enough bars to do it.
Because, I mean, can we turn this into a charity thing? I'm in. I want to try this.
I don't know. Figure it out.
Okay. I want to do this. Guys, I'm serious.
All right, everyone mark this down when he doesn't do this. In like a year's time, bring it up.
We'll have to look into it, because if there's a way we can tie it into a charity, or maybe if some of the groups are still giving back to the service industry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe raise money just for that, give it back to the service industry. I'd do it.
So I think I was reading a report just last night. I think it was the month of August or September. More Americans quit their jobs than ever before. 4.3 million people quit their jobs, and a majority of them are from the service industry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, everyone's reasons are different, whether they got a different job, outside the service industry or not. But
right.
Or if they just were tired of not getting paid. Maybe they worked at a restaurant or bar that just wasn't busy enough to fulfill them. But yeah, kind of a weird thing that's happened there.
Yeah.
So I think we'll have Jeremy in November. We'll have the guys from Two Tides in November as well.
Have you reached out to them?
Two Tides? Not recently.
Okay.
When we first started.
Yeah. No, I didn't know if you specifically about this one. Yeah, I'll think about it for tomorrow. See if there's anybody we can think of. Gotta be somebody out there.
Wanda says I'm setting a reminder for a year from now. Thank you.
Now, I mean, I think it's something we could attempt, this fall.
He keeps saying we.
Look, I'll do it.
It's you.
I'll do it.
It's you, man.
I'm in.
I'm smashing coconuts. We just talked about this. Did you forget?
No, I'm going to buy you a coconut. I'm going to bring it in.
Are you a Hindu cow?
Did they forget?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. All right, got about 90 seconds.
Ray says, y'all see Chucky, Child's Play, has a new TV series on Sci-Fi Channel, debuted 2 days ago. I heard it's actually really good, Rhett. I haven't watched it yet, though.
Yeah, I saw plenty of ads for it, but I haven't seen it.
They had a little marketing display of the new Chucky series at Universal Horror Nights when I went a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool, yeah.
And I got a picture taken inside of the little Chucky box.
Oh, awesome.
All right, just popping open quiz in the face, so we're good to go. There that is, and we're 30 seconds away?
Yeah, just about. All right, guys, be right back. It is time for me, Kotter, to get quizzed in the face. It is all about Predators today.
That's correct. In celebration of the NHL season kicking off just 2 days ago, and of course, it being the spooky season, I'm going to ask you, Kotter, about Predators today. Now, they're about the Nashville Predators or serial killer predators. So I just need you to answer Nashville Predator or Predator when it comes to answering our questions. I'm just going to give you a name. You just need to tell me whether it's one of those, and then we'll see how you do.
Okay. I think I'm ready. Maybe. I when it comes to NHL hockey, I know nothing.
What? How dare you?
Shocking.
You and 99% of the American population don't know anything about hockey until it's, the playoffs or the Stanley Cup.
I can't say I know a lot about serial killers either. Maybe some of the big ones. I don't know. We'll see.
I think there's one serial killer name that you'll definitely get. The other ones could be interesting.
Okay.
All right, let's kick off Quiz in the Face once again. It's our Predator edition of Quizzed in the Face. First name, Kotter. So you can tell me whether it is a serial killer predator or a Nashville Predator.
Okay.
Carl Denke. Is that a Nashville Predator or a Predator?
That so sounds like a hockey name. I'm going to definitely go Nashville Predator.
That, sir,
wrong again.
Is incorrect.
Already?
Starting off on a bad note, Carl Denke, proven to have killed 30 people. He killed and cannibalized poor travelers and homeless vagrants, Kotter. So, bad start to the quiz.
What's the definition of a serial killer? Is there a certain number?
Let's see. The serial killers that I'm bringing up today have killed more than 15 apiece.
Jeez.
So, yeah, I think if you get over like 10, I think you're a serial killer, right? I don't know. Is there a definition for that? We'll look that up later.
Okay.
All right, moving on, Quiz in the Face once again. These are either Nashville Predators from hockey teams or Predators like serial killers.
Right.
Kotter is choosing between the two. Second name, Nick Cousins. Which one is it?
Nick Cousins. Isn't there a Cousins in the NFL? So I'm going to go.
This is what you're basing. You're just saying.
I am. So I'm going Nashville Predators.
That, sir, is.
That is correct.
That is absolutely correct. Nick Cousins, number 21, playing center for the Nashville Predators.
Awesome. Okay. All right.
Let's continue on. Let's see if we can get a hot streak going for you. Number 3 person we're bringing up today for our Quiz in the Face, Larry Ayler. Larry Ayler.
That sounds very questionable. Larry sounds like an angry individual who's probably mentally unstable. So I'm going to go
hockey player.
Predator.
All right, Predator. Kotter. Oh, excuse me. Let me stop stuttering. Kotter.
That is correct.
That is correct. Larry Ayler, as you probably already know.
Oh, sure.
Proven to have killed 19 people and also known as the Interstate Killer.
Okay. Sure.
You don't know that one?
No, I don't know that one. But no, I'm just
very famous.
Trying to wrap my head around how people are the way they are.
Okay. How about this one? This one's interesting. This may throw you off. Good luck to you. Juice Saros. Juice Saros. Exotic name, Kotter.
Oh, my Lord.
Is that a Nashville Predator or a Predator serial killer?
Okay. Juice Saros.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, oh, man, I don't know. I'm going to go Predator.
Kotter. That is
wrong again.
Incorrect. Juice Saros, number 74, the goalie of the Nashville Predators.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's very awkward. You'll have to apologize to him. We'll write some notes later after the segment. All right, one more, then let's take a break, Kotter. We'll come back with the second half of Quiz in the Face here in just a few moments.
Not doing good.
How about this? This dude's got 4 names. Bruce George Peter Lee. I'll say it again. Bruce George Peter Lee. Is he a Nashville Predator or a Predator, a.k.a. serial killer?
All right, so I was going to ask if you were staying away from middle names because they always seem to give a serial killer, their middle name, when they talk about them. So now you're throwing 4 names at me.
There's so many names.
If you just gave me 3, I would have gone serial killer all day long. But you're giving me 4. Ooh, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to say Predator, 4 names. He's just a maniac.
That is the way to go because that
is correct.
Is very much correct. Bruce George Peter Lee proved to have killed 26 people. He was an epileptic arsonist. Yes, that's true. Epileptic arsonist who killed people in the city of Hull, sentenced to life imprisonment, but was later institutionalized, if I could speak today.
All right, so I am 3 out of 5 so far. We continue our Predator edition of Quizzed in the Face. It's coming up next. Kotter and Marshall Show, Rock 106.1.
So while you were out, Kotter, I adjusted your camera. So it's
I seem closer.
You are a little bit closer,
Right.
which is what I wanted to do.
Right.
But I used Mac as the Kotter model, which I've been using when you're out of the building.
She's about as
adjust the
tall as
camera.
I am. So yeah, makes sense.
It's well, not exactly, because I need to bring the camera down about an inch, because where you've been positioned most of the day, you've been like really short in your frame, and I'm trying to fill up the frame, trying to fill the cup.
Well, obviously coming right out of stop set.
Never trust anyone with 3 names, says Sean. 4 would instantly make him a murderer.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. It's like 4, man. Is that just too many? But no.
Yeah, so going over the list again, Carl Denke, he killed 30 people. He also cannibalized poor travelers and homeless vagrants. Nick Cousins was the center of the Nashville Predators. Larry Eiler was proven to have killed 19 people, known as the Interstate Killer. And Juice Soros, the goalie of the Predators, and Bruce George Peter Lee killed 26 people. He has the most interesting story of any serial killer. He's an epileptic why can't I say these fucking words, man? Epileptic arsonist who killed people in the city of Hull. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, but was later institutionalized.
Wanda sent us a screenshot of the reminder she set. Did Kotter visit over 51 bars for October 14th, 2022?
Good. Someone has to do that stuff. Thank you, Wanda.
So there you go. That's funny. You'll have to see how many bars. I got to look into the logistics of it. What are the rules? If somebody can drive you to places, because that may have to happen. Do you have to walk to all of them? I don't know what their guidelines are.
He said that he ran in between bars. Now, I would think you would be able to walk between establishments.
Right. But I mean, if I needed to get from, River Street up to wherever, can somebody drive?
I think you should walk.
Well, I mean, if I can be driven, I'm going to be driven.
What about a hover scooter?
Ooh, there we go. That won't be dangerous.
Brett says, how many times have we mentioned cannibalism in today's show? I don't know.
I think we've set a record.
Probably. We probably have.
All right, we've got 2-ish minutes.
All right, guys, we'll come back with the second half of Quiz in the Face, the second 5, doing the Predator edition of Quiz in the Face. The Nashville Predators, or Predators, a.k.a. serial killers. Just the perfect time of year to do it. On the show tomorrow, we'll obviously have beer for breakfast. We'll also have Lauren Wolferson coming in for a new segment called What Are We Doing?, which is kind of like a spin-off of what she's doing with her podcast that you could currently find on Spotify and via connectsavannah.com. She does that show with her coworker, Jamie. They're super funny and definitely worth checking out that podcast. And it's a great kind of update for every weekend. You can check out, see what's going on in Savannah if you just don't know, because there's not like a giant list out there to tell you what to do every single weekend. You kind of have to piecemeal it together through Facebook pages and, stupid listings and from word of mouth every single weekend if you want to know what's going on here.
Once again, I refuse to listen until she has us on as a guest.
Wow. Jeez.
I'm standing by it.
Juana says her son accidentally renewed Netflix yesterday. I feel like that's a multiple push type of process. Are you sure you didn't do that? She goes, so I'm excited to say that I'll be joining the bandwagon and we'll start watching Squid Games. Nice. Excellent.
Yeah, it's good.
Watch Squid Games, then watch Midnight Mass. That's your homework assignments for the next 2 weeks, Wanda. What else do we have going on the show tomorrow?
Beer for breakfast.
Yep, I said that already.
Hopefully we'll have a guest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you smarter than community college dropout about last night? Lauren. I think that's about it as of now.
Mm-hmm. Juana says, trust me, it was my son. It was all him. I was so pissed. Yeah, you were. Totally mad. Pretty impressive for such a small child to type in your credit card number and do that too. It's a real Real situation you got there with that youngin'.
All right.
Keep him away from your purse.
You got about 15 seconds, guys. Be right back. Not too bad so far on Quizzed in the Face, Marshall. So far, I am 3 out of 5. The Predator edition of Quizzed in the Face. 5 more to go. Feel free. Play along at home and in the car.
So here's the quiz today. Once again, it is the Predator edition of Quiz in the Face. What we're doing is giving Kotter an option. He has to choose between the NHL team, Nashville Predators. I'm going to give you a player name. You just have to tell me whether it's a member of that team or a predator, a.k.a. a serial killer. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin the second half of Quizzed in the Face today. The first name on the second half. How about this? Philip, with an F, Forsberg.
Oh, man. If you wouldn't have given me Philip with an F, I would have instantly thought serial killer. But with the F throws me off.
Do you want me to? I'll give you a hint. I've got some international serial killers on this list.
Oh, you son of a gun. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. There's some international ones, especially on the second half.
Okay. Well, now that you're giving me that nugget, I'm going to say he is a predator, serial killer.
Wrong
again.
You should have kept with that first inclination, Kotter, because Philip Forsberg, number 9, left winger for the Nashville Predators. Okay, bad start, but let's turn this around.
Good.
I'm voting. I am cheering for you from the way high section of the Nashville Predator Stadium. Number 2 of our second half of Quiz in the Face, Dorangel Vargas. Dorangel Vargas. Is that a Nashville Predator or a Predator?
Vargas sounds like such an evil name. Vargas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got to go serial killer predator on this.
Okay, you, sir.
That is correct.
Are absolutely correct. Dorangel Vargas, proven to have killed at least 15 people. Homeless cannibal known as the People Eater and the Hannibal Lecter of the Andes.
Why? Why? I mean, I don't get any of it. Why do you kill people? And then why do you eat them? I don't, what is wrong with people?
Prove people aren't delicious.
I don't want to. Don't care to know.
Because you can't. Maybe people are delicious.
It's just wrong.
It's the foie gras of delicious dishes. You don't know that?
I don't want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody should know.
Okay. All right. We get it. You don't want to be a cannibal.
No.
Unless you're put into a position. All right. Number 3 on the second half of Quiz in the Face today, Kotter. Luke Kunin. Luke Kunin. Is that a Nashville Predator or a Predator?
See, that name just sounds wholesome. So I'm going to say...
like mother's milk.
I'm going to say Nashville Predator.
Kotter, that is...
That is correct.
100% correct once again. Number 11 playing center for your Nashville Predators.
Okay.
Hoping to get the job with the Nashville Predators after this quiz, hopefully. All right,
yeah, because you associated with serial killers. Yeah. They'll love you.
Okay, well, there's a chance still. Coming in, let's see, number 4 on the second half of Quiz in the Face today, Michael Granlund.
Oh, man.
Mikael.
I'm going to say Mikel
Granlund. Is that a Nashville Predator or a Predator?
I'm going Nashville Predator. Sounds hockey-ish.
Okay.
That is correct.
That is correct. Yeah, once again, Mikel Granlund, number 64 center for your Nashville Predators. That was pretty good, right?
That was so good.
The job? All right, one last one. I think you'll get this one.
Okay. I'm 6 for 9.
Ricardo Ramirez.
Oh, that's got to be a serial killer.
That is correct.
100% correct. Kotter did very well on the second half Quiz of the Face day. He got 7 out of 10 for the complete Quiz of the Face. Obviously, Ricardo Ramirez, proven to have killed 15 people, dubbed as the Night Stalker. Richard Ramirez was an American serial killer who killed at least 14 people and tortured dozens more before being captured in 1985.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk to the big guys, break down another weekend in the NFL. It's the Kotter and Marshall Show, Rock 106.1.
Sean goes, why would you eat them? What else are you going to do with that body? Exactly. Rick goes, there you go again, mentioning cannibalism. Sean, what temperature would you best to smoke a leg or a calf muscle? Oh, that's a good question.
Is it, though? Is it a good question?
Hey, you know what? There's some things you just need to know.
No, there's not.
There's some things you need to know.
I don't think there is.
What delicious level of temperature should a human be cooked at?
Yes.
I think it should be asked.
It's not a question I need to know. Oh, man. All right, I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be back.
Okay. And here we are. Hearing my name being screamed from down the hallway. Hopefully they don't come in here. I don't want to be interrupted between us. It's us time, guys. It's been a long time since we got to hang out. Oh, Michael. Oh, I was just talking about you, man. What's going on? Third favorite sales manager? What's going on, man? No. Not to my knowledge, no. Wow. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll fill it up for gas. I'll fill it up with gas for you. I'll go ahead and do that for you. So, yeah, things are going well. I'm going to see a car tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to Springfield Southern Motors Honda, which is the best place to go buy a car, Mike. Springfield Southern Motors Honda. Is it different? Oh, which one is it? Which one am I going to? Yeah, the one in Springfield. Southern Motors. I talked to Scott. Is it Honda? Oh, so yes. But they sell Hondas. They probably got one on the lot. Yeah. Nailed it. Going to see him tomorrow. Excited.
All of the live music. Good. That's a lot of fun.
Let's see. Wanda says if we invested time and resources into studying these cannibal serial killers, we understand why they do this. It typically stems from trauma of some sort. I mean, look at Dahmer and his crazy mom. Watch the movie Psycho. Sean says, I say 225 degrees for about 4 to 5 hours, then wrap it in peach butcher's paper to get past the temp stall. You're going to want to get it to about 205 internal temp, break down the fibers, and really tenderize it. Thanks, Sean. See? And
you didn't answer that way too quick.
And you guys think you couldn't learn anything from us watching this live stream every morning. Get the F out of here. Come on. We're amazing. Oh, man. All right. So coming up here in a little less than 10 minutes, we're going to phone up the big guy, Frank Sulkowski. Hopefully he'll answer. I bet he will. We're doing the big guy breakdown here. Ooh, I got a fancy new screen for it, too. I can show that off here.
All right. Give me 1 second. Let me fire up the delay here. All right, guys. We'll be right back. Okay.
So the big guy will join us, and here's the fancy new big guy screen for the breakdown. That's our handsome little devil right there, gracing the live stream today. Sean says cold winters in Minnesota taught him a lot about cooking humans. I mean, not cooking humans.
All right, Sean, when you come down and visit in December, I'm busy. Really just can't spend time with you now, man. Sorry. A little creeped out.
You're really against cannibalism.
Yes, I'm anti-cannibalism. I feel confident enough to say that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm against cannibalism. I don't know the situation I'm in. How can you be against cannibalism if you're in a situation? Would you rather die, Kotter?
What did we establish earlier? Just because you're put in that position, is that cannibalism or is that survival? I mean, there are. I
voted towards survival, but I feel like you think it's cannibalism. I feel like the moment
it's a form of. I don't say. Are you a practicing cannibalist? No.
Right.
I don't think so.
But I mean, so like
it is a form of cannibalism.
Like you do drugs, so I would call you a druggie, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I would never stop calling you a druggie. You'll always be a druggie. So
Yeah,
if you eat if you eat humans once, aren't you always a cannibal? If you kill a person, aren't you always a murderer?
No, I would say you are not always a cannibal.
Okay.
You were put in a situation to survive.
Right. But
I think that's different. I mean, if you were put in a situation where it's life or death,
right.
Okay, fine.
What if like some dude came at me with a knife, I had a gun, and obviously bad day for him because he brought a knife to a gunfight.
Right.
And I shot him to death. Would I not always be known as the guy who kind of killed another guy, also known as a murderer?
I wouldn't call you a murderer. No.
You wouldn't?
No, it's self-defense.
But you wouldn't call me a murderer.
No.
You wouldn't be like, Marshall killed a dude.
You killed a guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't make you a murderer.
But every person you told would be like, oh, that dude's a murderer?
No. I would say that does not make you a murderer.
All right.
You killed somebody in self-defense. You did not murder them.
Right.
So, no, I don't think that makes you a murderer.
Okay.
Now, you're thinking about it way too much, so maybe it's predetermined, which would make you a murderer.
I don't know.
So now I'm questioning.
They kill you and eat you. Be a cannibalistic murderer. Sean says, how long do you think human meat stays inside you? Like gum stays for 7 years or whatever. Do you think if you ate someone, you'd eat their soul?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're the ginger.
Like you'd have nightmares. Well, I don't have one.
That's true.
Even how about this? If I ate a human and became a cannibal and absorbed their soul, and let's say I don't have one, would I get a soul?
That's a good question.
Would I get a partial? How many people do I have to eat to get one full soul?
Who knew cannibalism was so deep?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the answer.
Charles says, Sean, best to eat the human glutes first, then the thigh muscles. Cook at same temperature? ? I don't know. It's a big cannibalism show today.
It really, really got weird.
I wouldn't call it weird. I just have a lot of questions. We have a lot of questions.
All right, we still got about 7 minutes. We'll call the big guy once we get into 7 Mary 3.
And 7 Mary 3 is broken up, right? I think we talked about this last time we played 7 Mary 3.
Yeah, I looked into them when we were putting together the 20th anniversary show. I'm like, that'd be a fun band. And they no longer are a thing. Them and Presidents of the United States. I really wanted Presidents. I think they would be so much fun live. But
what a super niche band.
It is, but I mean, I thought they would be great. They would just be super fun live. But yeah, not a thing.
I think any band's willing to come back for the right amount of money.
Possibly. I don't think we were that spot.
No, we weren't offering that much money. So earlier in the show, you talked about Ted Lasso.
Yes.
So Apple is ordering a new comedy series from the writers of Ted Lasso, which are the writers of Scrubs.
Yeah.
Featuring Jason Segel.
Okay.
Wait, he hasn't been doing much. Like,
I haven't seen him in a minute.
Yeah, Jason Segel really hasn't. I don't feel like has been doing a whole lot, but apparently he's going to be doing a new series, which is not loading on my computer. I'd tell you about it.
I'm interested. I mean, I love Scrubs. The few episodes I've watched of Ted Lasso have been really good. So yeah, I definitely they are somebody I would check out a new show from.
Sorry, Sean just said, just delete this whole stream.
Yeah, this could be used to come back and haunt you. Yeah, you don't want this out there.
So I got the information now. So Jason Segel has a new comedy series on Apple TV Plus. Received a 10-episode order from Bill Lawrence, who's the dude obviously behind Scrubs and Ted Lasso. It is about a unhinged therapist in this series. So it follows a grieving therapist who starts to break the rules and tells his clients exactly what he thinks, according to the official logline.
Okay.
Ignoring his training and ethics, he finds himself making huge, tumultuous changes to people's lives, including his own.
I'm guessing Segel plays the therapist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that sounds interesting. He's one of those actors, it's like, it depends on the role. because he's basically the same guy in everything he does.
Yeah, just about.
And so it depends on, how it's written. Because, he was great in How I Met Your Mother.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he, in the movie he did, what was the one, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is what he did. I thought was fun. He was fun in the reboot of The Muppets, which, again, I think he wrote.
Yeah, and he's a super talented guy.
Yeah.
So I would definitely watch this. Now, apparently, Bill Lawrence, the guy behind this in Ted Lasso, and he's currently working on season 3 of Ted Lasso. He has another, I don't know if it's a TV show or a movie, but it's got Vince Vaughn, and it's called Bad Monkey. So it's based on a novel that came out in 2013. Bad Monkey tells the story of Andrew Yancey, a one-time detective demoted to restaurant inspector in southern Florida. A severed arm was found by a tourist out fishing, pulls Yancey into a world of greed and corruption that decimates the land and environment in both Florida and the Bahamas. And yes, the show features a literal monkey. So that's apparently going down to Apple Plus, and Vince Vaughn is attached to it to star in. That sounds very interesting. I would probably watch that. Speaking of Apple, Disney, all sorts of stupid giant conglomerates, Rhett says, just booked the family Disney trip for January.
Nice.
I got a 6 and a 2-year-old staying at Animal Kingdom so the kids can see the animals from the balcony.
My brother and his wife stayed in Animal Kingdom for their honeymoon, and they absolutely loved it. We always do the Pop Century just for financial reasons, but that whole Animal Kingdom place is really, really cool. They've got a.
Did you say Pop Century? What's that?
Pop Century. It's like one of the hotels.
Oh, okay.
Pop Century and the All Star resorts are they're cheaper resorts, which aren't cheap. But there is a great restaurant in that hotel. So if I'll ask my wife the name of it because I don't remember. We went there once, and then her and my daughter went there once, and it is fantastic. So good.
Charles says Stephen King wrote a short story about a doctor/heroin smuggler. Almost sound like Kotter there, but he's not a doctor. On an island, has to resort to cutting off pieces of his own body for food, called Survivor Type. It's a good read. Interesting.
All right, got to call the big guy. Like I said, didn't get a thumbs up text from him yesterday, so I'm hoping he answers.
Hey, this is Frank. Sorry I was unable to get to your call, but if you leave your name, a number, and a short message, I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Leave a message, huh?
Yeah. Hey, big guy. It's Kotter and Marshall. Got about a minute until we're on the air. If you got some time, hit us back up, please. 800-394-1061. See ya. You do the Marshall breakdown?
Why don't we flip it and give him one more chance?
Okay.
So let's do the story that we were gonna do
Demi
at 9:15.
Lovato.
Yeah, and then let's see if we can get him on.
Okay. All right, guys. We'll be right back. So typically when I text the big guy the list of games we're going to break down the night before, he responds. Sometimes just thumbs up, sometimes cool.
Mm-hmm.
He did not respond last night like he typically does. So I'll admit, I was like, oh, are we going to be able to get the big guy? We just tried to call. We were not able to get the big guy. So we're going to give him a few more minutes. We'll see if we can get the big guy breakdown here in a little bit. But we had this other story we're going to get to, so let's get to that now. Singer Demi Lovato is now an alien hunter, but we're not supposed to use the term alien. This whole thing is weird. Now, Lovato claims to have had a unique experience involving a UFO. Went down at Joshua Tree out in California, and it's led Lovato to host a new show on Peacock called Unidentified, where they go looking for proof of extraterrestrial life.
This has got as much content as like every ghost show that you've ever seen ever. Like,
yeah,
I think it's just probably them like in like some like like those
haunted house.
Yeah, haunted house of like some heat vision goggle type situations.
Yes.
And they're like just listening for a random sound, like an alien's just going to go peekaboo or something like that. Like so silly. But apparently Demi Lovato doesn't like to call aliens because they think that is offensive.
Yeah, this whole thing's weird.
She wants them to be known as extraterrestrials or ETs, as she likes to call them.
Yeah, she was talking to somebody in Australia, doing an interview about this show, and she brought this whole thing up. And it's like, look, I'm all for calling people or things by proper names or what they want to be called by. This one is a little too far for me.
Is it because she's never actually met an alien?
Possibly.
And she's just preferring what they like to be called?
She's assuming. And you know what you assume? So, I mean, how do you know for sure? I mean, if she was visited and they're like, look, Demi, you're popular. Got lots of followers on the Instagram and everything. Can you let everybody know that we prefer not to use the term alien?
Yeah, and like how they let her know that. I mean, if she feels so strongly about this, did the aliens tweet her or something? Like,
maybe.
Are they TikTok fans? Like, what social media platform? They hotmailed her?
No, I would say
AOL.
I would say aliens or ETs, probably on top of things. So I would say definitely TikTok.
I mean, you would think they would just use telekinesis.
Maybe.
Yeah,
well,
which is kind of what they're known for.
Maybe that's what went down, at Joshua Tree. Maybe they, just kind of floated it into her head that they should not be called aliens.
Or maybe she just did enough drugs where she thought that. Yeah,
now
heroin. It's a hell of a drug. You're a big drug guy. You know about it.
Lovato's the drug person, not me. It's a Lovato.
Well, you both are.
Okay. Will you be watching Demi Lovato's show Unidentified on Peacock?
No, I'm actually unsubscribing from Peacock for the reason that she has a show and I don't. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of upset about that.
All right, we're going to try one more time to track down the big guys so we can break down some games this weekend in the NFL. Until then, enjoy some Daughtry. Latest tune, Heavy is the Crown. It's the Kotter and Marshall Show. Rock 106.1.
We take 1 week off, and the big guy suddenly thinks he's out of this agreement.
Yeah.
We're going to talk every single week. Come on, big guy.
I'm going to try again.
Hey, actually, he'll answer if you say his number out loud when you dial it.
Nah, I won't do that yet. All right, what is this weekend?
This weekend is week 6.
They play tonight.
Who does?
Georgia Southern.
Mm-hmm.
South Alabama.
Hey, this is Frank. Sorry.
All right.
All right, Sean, have a great day, man. Thanks for hanging around on the live stream today.
See you, Sean. Do you want to do something else? You want to break it down?
We could talk about some football games.
Yeah, I could bring up what games are being played, sure.
Speaking of the Kotter and Marsh Show Fantasy Football League is still going strong. I'm terrible. I think I'm 2-3.
I took shellackings in both of my leagues over the weekend. I mean, it was. I haven't even gone back and look after. I didn't look after Monday. So let me see how bad it was.
Currently in the Kotter and Marsh Show League, I am 10th out of 14th place with a 2-3 record. Kotter, I think you're doing much better. You're actually in 5th place with a 3-2 record. So congrats to you.
All right, but yeah. So last week in the Kotter and Marshall League, I lost 120 to 144.
Yeah,
you think 120? That's good, but 104. I mean, I got my ass kicked at 120 points.
Feel like that other person probably had Lamar Jackson.
In the other league that I'm in, which I'm completely sucking in, I think I've gotten one win. Once again, 124 points, but I lost to somebody who had 140.
Yikes.
Can't even catch a break when I do well. All right, we got about a minute.
So the Falcons have the week off. They played in London.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Man. Yeah, that's a story. I'll tell you that later.
What? Okay.
But the Falcons played in London. They actually beat the Jets. Cordell Patterson had a game.
Yeah.
Pretty good game. So they're off this week. So any team that plays in London usually gets their bye week the week after. So no Falcons game this week, but we'll hit up 3 games that happen Sunday early and then 1 game late.
All right, we got about 25 seconds.
And I'll do my best big guy impression. Now, here's a guy. Big guy's a big fan of saying that.
All right, guys, be right back. The big guy is out lost somewhere in South Alabama because that's where GSU is, taking on South Alabama tonight. So, I mean, do you just lose track of time when you get to Alabama? Do you just, technology just stop working?
Quite possibly. Or maybe he's just hanging out with Gavin Adcock, slugging beers on top of the bus right now, which I'm guessing Gavin's probably not there, being that
I'm guessing he didn't go.
He officially got kicked off the team while you were gone. No big deal.
I saw that.
Let's do the big guy breakdown. If you're watching the live stream, you'll see a big picture of Frank Sulkowski's big fat face on there, and we hate him at this very moment, but we love him, really, because he does great work for us. But he's not joining us today, so I'm going to do my best big guy Frank Sulkowski impression for us, Kotter, and try to break down these games for us.
All right, game number 1. How do you feel? How do you feel emotionally about game number 1 going down with the Packers and the Bears?
So, have you ever woke up on Christmas morning and there's only a couple presents underneath the tree for you because you got kids and everything?
Yeah.
And you know those presents are going to suck. Like your kids, they probably made you something. Your wife doesn't really love you anymore.
Right.
And you have that dread inside of you. That's what I feel when I hear about the Green Bay Packers 4-1 taking on the Chicago Bears at home, who are 3-2 now.
Right.
Justin Fields, rookie quarterback, he's doing okay. I think he may be a good quarterback down the line. He's not very good right now. He threw for 100 yards and 1 touchdown last week. And of course, Aaron Rodgers, he literally haunts my dreams. So I really wanted the big guy to tell me the Chicago Bears were going to win this weekend and make me feel good on the inside, And if the Bears won, they'd be tied with the Packers atop the NFC North. But I honestly can't say that the Bears are going to win here. The Green Bay Packers are going to destroy not only my hopes and dreams of ever seeing the playoffs again until Aaron Rodgers leaves the division. They're going to decimate the Chicago Bears by probably more than 10. So,
it's not even going to be pretty.
It's not going to be pretty this coming Sunday.
All right, game number 2, 4-1 Chargers at the 4-1 Ravens.
Do you think the Miami Dolphins have some regret drafting Tua Tagovailoa instead of Justin Herbert? Because Justin Herbert is possibly a top 5 quarterback in the league right now. This is only his second year.
Yeah.
He cut his hair last year, lost his superpowers of being a great quarterback, grew his hair back over the offseason, and he is Superman. This guy is slinging it all over the field. Now, Lamar Jackson, another great quarterback, huge win on Monday Night Football this past Sunday, but I'm going to give it to the Chargers.
Okay.
I'm going to flat out, they're the San Diego Superchargers still to me. That'll never change, although they work and live in L.A. right now. Give me the Chargers. I think they're great, and I think they are a possible Super Bowl contender.
Oh,
yeah.
Dang. All right. All right, final one, 4-5 game. Cardinals, who are 5-0, heading into Cleveland, which nobody wants to do, to take on the Browns, who are 3-2.
Yeah, Cleveland is the worst, isn't it? This game, you want to believe the Cardinals are good, right? Like the eye test says the Cardinals have not lost, right?
Right.
I don't believe them.
Really?
I think they're frauds. They're big time frauds. I think the Cardinals, after the Browns losing in a heartbreak fashion against the Chargers last week, they're the first team in NFL history to have scored more than 40 points and have 0 turnovers and lose a game. Every other game before that, before this past weekend, those teams were 460-0. The Cleveland Browns are finding new ways to set records for sucking and defeating, even when they're great. They lost to the Chargers last week, once again, in heartbreaking fashion, 47-42. I think they come back big time. I think they're angry. Give me the Browns over the Cardinals, serving the Cardinals their very first defeat of the NFL season.
Could be interesting this weekend in the NFL. Hopefully the big guy hasn't given up on us. He'll join us next week to break down another weekend. Coming up next, we got some Marshall's music news. We're talking Slayer. Stick around. Kotter and Marshall Show. Rock 106.1.
Big guy breaking our hearts. You son of a bitch. It's okay. And usually it happens once a year. We've been doing segments with the big guy for a while, and he usually once a year he's good for a good no-show.
Yeah, something usually happens.
But knowing the big guy, he absolutely got sloshed last night because the Georgia Southern people pay for everything. They fly him out there, and he eats and drinks and. It's not like he's just sitting at home. Usually they have games that are on Saturdays, but I guess they have a Thursday game this time. So the guy just got sloshed last night. That's what I'm going to tell myself.
All right, that seems about right.
We'll kick off with Slayer here. After Slayer, we'll jump into Coachella, a story on Coachella, and then we'll wrap up with a story on Ghost. So that'll be the rest of the show today.
Cool.
Yeah, as soon as we get done with the show today, obviously I'll do some show prep for tomorrow, and then my number one task today will be finding a guest for beer for breakfast. Like I said, we've got Chris Moody from Mood Rights and Over Yonder coming in next Friday. He's set to come in.
Is he bringing beer, or we need to get some beer?
No, I think he's bringing in.
Okay.
So he has beers that not every other restaurant carries in Savannah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if he'll just bring in some of those.
Okay.
Which is really, really cool stuff. So he'll be coming in, and then I believe we'll have Steven from United Distributing. He'll be coming in, I think, the following Friday, the 29th, which will lead us right into Halloween. Charles says he's a no-show because he's the big guy, not the big, bald, and sexy guy. There you go.
True.
What's that? Was that thunder outside? No, it's just Charles patting himself on the back.
All right. Yeah, after this is done, I got to record Lisette's Latin Lunch, which I believe will be the last time I have to do it. Because Mia, back in the building.
Yeah, Mia's officially back in the building this coming Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Mia had a baby a couple months ago from G100. She does the afternoon show, and she's also the program director of G100. She's been out for a few months with, said baby, little Gia, and she'll be coming back to work on Monday. We're excited to see her. Haven't seen her in a long time. Was talking to her on the phone with her just a couple days ago.
Right. Squid Game series creator says there's a lot of possible storylines for a season 2 if another season is made. So there you go.
I think being that Squid Game is now the most watched show ever on Netflix.
That's so crazy to me. It's cool and it's an interesting story. I'm surprised this is the most viewed.
Yeah, but if you look at the most watched Netflix shows of all time, it's kind of a weird smattering of stuff. Like The Witcher The first season, The Witcher, is in the top 5. I forget the other ones. I was just looking at a list of them just the other day. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick, and we can go over the top 5 or so. Oh, here we go right here. I have the 10 most watched Netflix shows of all time. So number 10 is Emily in Paris. Never seen it.
Nope.
Number 9 is Sweet Tooth. That's a show that just recently came out. Robert Downey Jr. Produced it. It's based on a comic book series.
Okay.
Number 8 is The Queen's Gambit, which I've seen, and it's very good.
That's great.
Number 7 is Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness.
Yep.
Number 6 is Money Heist. It's a foreign series.
Okay.
Number 5 is Tie. Is a tie between Stranger Things and Sex/Life.
Obviously, I've seen Stranger Things.
I haven't seen the other one. Number 4 is a tie as well, which is The Witcher and Lupin, which I've seen both. Both are excellent. Let's see. Number 2 would be Bridgerton.
Okay.
Never seen that show.
I've watched that.
Mostly, yeah. All the girls in the world have seen that one. And then number 1 is Squid Game.
Yeah.
So Squid Game has paved the path for K-drama, Korean drama, and knocked Bridgerton off the top spot with 111 million views in its first few days of its debut. Apparently, it's become so popular that Vans has sold out like on their white Vans slip-ons, which is what they wear in the show.
Right.
They sold out of that shoe, and they're like no longer available right now. Just like the pure white ones, not the checkerboard that a lot of people wear. And yeah, it's that popular. A lot of people are doing like the green jumpsuits for Halloween this year.
Everybody is going to either be green jumpsuit or the pink outfits with the masks. You'll see those everywhere.
Yeah, the green jumpsuits that's like the most comfortable thing. Like
it's great.
Although that is going to be considered like a Halloween costume this year, I would just wear it on the regular for like the rest of ever because it just looks incredibly comfortable.
That is true.
Ooh, speaking of good tidings, good things, Wanda says we have found 2 houses we're going to look at hopefully this weekend. Good luck to you. Yes, Charles. Yes, absolutely. She is a Mamma Mia, 100%. And she's as loud as the entire cast combined. You'd get that joke if you met her. So I've been gone the last 3 out of the last 4 weekends. I've been on trips. I've been to Chicago, St. Augustine, and then I was also in Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights. So this is like my first weekend I'm actually staying home. And I think it's going to be kind of weird for me. I think I'm going to get a little jittery while sitting in the house.
I get that.
So I've planned some stuff for me to do just so I, make sure I stay my ass at home instead of like going out and spending all my money. So I think this weekend I'm going to, so my wife and I have a tradition of we always carve a pumpkin. So I'm carving a pumpkin this year. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think my wife's going.
No, I guess I hit that. Never mind. Sorry.
I think my wife is going to be carving Skeletor from the new animated series, Skeletor or He-Man or whatever that's on Netflix. So my wife's going to do Skeletor, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I was thinking about doing like Baby Grogu or Baby Yoda.
Oh, there you go. All right, got about 45 seconds.
Maybe the Mandalorian, just because it would take me 3 seconds to carve that pumpkin. If you're looking for a cool video game to play, I've been playing 2 recently on the Nintendo Switch. If you're looking for something to play this coming week, Bastion, Bastion, Bastion is a game that's been out for years now, but I'm just playing it. Super fun. And then the brand new Metroid game come out, Metroid Dread. Both those games are really fun, so check those out if you're looking for something to do.
All right, guys, be right back. All right, getting into some Marshall's music news, here is story number 1.
So in a recent star-studded compilation video congratulating Machine Head on their 30th anniversary as a band, Kerry King of noted Slayer fame said that his band quit too early. He actually was quoted as saying, "So I hear congratulations are in order for my friends in Machine Head. Apparently it's 30 years, which is quite an achievement. Not a lot of bands get there." He actually goes into lamenting Slayer's decision to retire just a few years ago. He goes, "We did retire and he goes, I feel like we completely quit too early." He goes, "F us, I know, F me, I hate effing not playing." So a little bit of buyer's regret when it came to the whole retirement for Slayer. I mean, Kotter, do you think Slayer will ever get back together and play?
Yes. I mean, if he's jonesing for it, I'm guessing the other guys are jonesing for it. I think we will definitely get Slayer live again. Whether we don't get new music, I bet they will do some shows.
You think they'll come back and tour then? Yeah.
I don't know if they'll do a full tour, but it wouldn't be surprised maybe some festival stuff, just because you don't have to do the full tour. You can just pop up a few places. Yeah, I think you see him again.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Slayer's too vital to the scene, especially for us old heads over here just who still grew up and love Slayer. I would love to see them back out on tour. I would pay a lot of money probably to go see them again.
All right, we got more Marshall's music news. It's coming up next. The Kotter and Marshall Show, Rock 106.1.
All right, coming up next, we'll do a story about Coachella. Coachella is probably one of the biggest and one of the most well-known first big festivals that really started coming into the forefront. I think the first year Coachella was around was the early 2000s. Now, obviously, there was giant music festivals before that, but I feel like there was a big lull. We didn't have a lot of huge festivals, and they were the first one that kind of came back and started putting on these massive festivals, and they did it right. They did a great job, and they're just so well known for it now. But they're putting on Coachella for 2022, and they're going to loosen some of their previous harsh restrictions. So we'll talk about that. So we don't have a date yet, but they're supposed to be doing Tiger King 2. I brought up Tiger King a little while ago. So I think that it's supposed to be coming out in November.
It's for the end of the year, yeah.
Yeah, I think possibly we're getting the sequel to the Tiger King documentary series then.
Like I said, I'll watch it. My expectations are going to be low. Because Carol Baskin already said she's not involved. Is the dude from Myrtle Beach going to be involved?
Doc Antle or whatever?
Yeah, because, you're getting...
Yeah, he needs the money, so he'll definitely be involved.
You're getting Joe Exotic, but he's got to do it from jail.
So they're making a series on Tiger King. The reason why I brought this up, so they're making a series on Tiger King, and Kate McKinnon of Saturday Night Live fame is playing Carol Baskin in this new series. And Carol Baskin says that she's very excited about Kate McKinnon playing her, and she feels like she has nailed her look.
Okay.
Carol says that she has almost exactly the same outfit as the one that Kate is pictured wearing on a photo from the set of the new Tiger King series. I'm looking at the picture right now. It does look spot on. Very floral, very floral top, jeans, kind of like a half sweater type of deal. I'm addicted to Tiger King. I think I will always follow the series after watching the documentary. Liquid, what's up, man?
All right, we got just over a minute. Oh, wow. Yeah, she definitely kind of get that look down.
Oh, yeah, you looking at the picture right now?
Yeah. All right, guys, 35 seconds. What do we call in the new segment with Lauren?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? All right, guys, be right back. Getting into story number 2, Marshall's Music News.
So Coachella, which you guys know very well known for their massive festivals they do each and every year. It's supposed to be Rage Against the Machine in 2020. Obviously, that didn't happen, and definitely didn't happen in 2021 as the festival did not happen. They are coming back next year, and they originally had plans that you had to have a proof of vaccination to attend the concert. Now, instead, they have loosened the admittance to either proof of vaccination or a recent negative COVID test within the previous 72 hours. Now, they're going to make that official as they put that out on Instagram just yesterday. Now, Coachella is taking place in mid-April and late April of this coming year in Indio, California. But a lot of people, it's different when you go to shows. Ever since we kind of brought shows back this past March, and of course, we officially brought concerts back at bigger festivals, 1061 20th anniversary show, you're welcome. You had to kind of show this type of thing, and it's different for everywhere. Sometimes a COVID test, sometimes there's nothing, sometimes you have to show vaccination. But according to Coachella, now it's either a negative COVID test or a vaccination, where previously it was just people who were vaccinated. So I'm pretty sure that'll help their attendance coming up next April.
That was how Austin City Limits was when I was there this past weekend. You could either show that you're negative or you brought in that you got the vaccine. And it was packed. There were so many people there. Mm-hmm. I thought it would slow down the line getting in. Nah, they had it down, and they had it down good at ACL.
Did they really look at your, could you just take a picture of your vaccination card? Do they really look at it?
So when the first day I went in, I showed him my card, and he did ask for an ID to make sure that it matched up with the card. But he looked at both for about 2 seconds.
Sure.
So how well they looked, I don't know. The second day I had both ready, and once again, it was kind of a quick glance at it. Yeah. It was basically, you've got something that resembles a vaccination card, you're probably okay. Depending. I don't know. Maybe there'll be more detail.
We're not saying you should do that.
No.
Throwing out our experiences.
That is what happened. All right, one more story to go with Marshall's Music News. That's next. Kotter and Marshall Show, Rock 106.1.
So that's exactly what happened to me when I went to a Chicago Blackhawks game when I was in Chicago a few weekends ago. You had to show your card or whatever, which is fine.
Yeah.
I had a picture of it on my phone, so not an issue. And I literally just held it up. The guy was just literally did a flash shake. If my screen was any close to the color of white, he was like, yeah, whatever. Come in.
Yeah.
I mean, it did not hold up the line at all.
Yeah, no, the line was moving. That wasn't an issue. But yeah, they did require the ID just to verify that it was the same name. But yeah, they didn't look at it for more than 2 seconds.
Liquid goes, Covidchella. I like it.
But yeah, that play, and it was packed. And I heard the first weekend was packed. And it was crazy packed.
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot sunscreen too. And
I can tell.
And my forehead's doing much better now. We went and saw, so there was a guy named Charlie Crockett, who was a country guy, and he's a twangy country guy. And he's from Austin. There's this place a half mile from my uncle's house called Sam's Town Point. And it's your stereotypical old school bar. Mm-hmm. And they just do crap ton of live music like every place in Austin. And he kind of got his start there. So he was supposed to do a show there that night, like an after party. And it was just getting so crazy, they canceled it. So I'm like, all right, we'll go check him out because we were going to go see him at Sam's afterwards. And, he's twangy, but fun. He was a great entertainer. Music was cool. It was old school Johnny Cash sounding, country.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, it was fun. But the sun was right above, right at the stage. So it was beating down at us for like an hour and 15 minutes. I just feel my forehead baking the entire time.
Do you not own a baseball cap? What's wrong with you, man?
I don't own a baseball cap. That's the problem. And it was, then afterwards, it was just like leather.
So you were definitely wearing sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
The bridge of your nose is completely white.
I took a picture here. I took a picture after seeing Charlie Crockett. I'll show it to you guys. where I was definitely a little bit more red.
Ooh, good Lord.
Yeah, that was rough. And it looks like I'm a
raccoon,
yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you walked in this morning, I'm like, you definitely got some sun there, pal.
Yep, got some sun.
How was temperatures in Austin? Was it
was
pleasant?
in the 90s. I mean, so it was. I mean, it got a little hot at ACL just because you're standing out there for so long. But it wasn't. It was never uncomfortable. But I was hoping for low 80s, upper 70s.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for nice. But I mean, it was fine. Didn't rain, which was good. Like rained the last day I was there. I guess it rained the weekend before at ACL, so we didn't get any of the rain. So that part was cool.
Yuck. With the rain, man, it's been so humid. Yeah, you're lucky to miss that.
I was impressed. So got up Friday morning, was heading to ACL by myself. My uncle was somewhere, and my aunt she wasn't driving down to ACL. It's like, oh, Uber, it's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. So I checked out the Uber early on. It's like $21. I'm like, oh, perfect. That ain't bad. Checked it out a half an hour later. $68.
Jesus.
And I'm like, nope. I'll wait for my uncle. I'll make him take me down there. 20 minutes later, it's back down to $21. So I hopped in Uber. So we thought leaving mid-festival, which we did on Saturday, we expected Ubers to be stupid. So we walked. We had to obviously walk out of the festival grounds. We walked a couple blocks up, got to a place. $13. They had to have like every Uber driver available in Austin.
Yeah.
Had to be out working.
Yeah, people drive in for those events.
Yeah,
people will drive in from neighboring cities and everything. I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I was taking a ride, probably like a $15 ride from like downtown to the house I was staying at. And the dude I got a ride from was from Huntsville, Alabama, who just drove into Chattanooga, which has a lot more touristy action than Huntsville, for the weekend. And he's like, I got a kid, I got to pay for him. So, on the weekends, I just drive up. It's 2 hours. I'm like, Jesus Christ, to Uber? Good for you.
Yeah. And the lady that took me down the first day, she was a taxi driver, and she switched over to Uber. She said, you're just making better money. It's more fun.
Yeah.
And she was super nice.
More fun?
Yeah, she said it was more fun. The day two, the drive down, somebody who worked in radio in Austin. So I'm like, you must be doing well. And was telling me, so she's dating the son of Journey's keyboard player, like original, making a crap ton of money still from residuals because he wrote, or had a hand in writing a lot of the songs.
Good.
So cool. Like, damn, that's kind of cool.
So wait, she's just hoping for that money? Hoping to get into that family so she gets some of that money? Gold digger?
She claimed he was making $60K a month on residuals from Journey songs. I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. All right, so we've got about 2.5 minutes. Brand new-ish Guns N' Roses with Hard School. Then we'll get into the final break of the show.
Yeah, last break we'll talk about Ghost. More and more is coming out about them, and I think we're going to be talking about Ghost quite a bit over the next few weeks and months as that leads up to a brand new Ghost album, which I think is going to be released within the first quarter of 2022. They're going out on a tour pretty soon with Volbeat, so we'll talk about that, their new song on the Halloween soundtrack, and just a little tidbit of what Tobias said in a recent interview. And then we'll jump out, let you get back to what you were doing for your Thursday. Got mostly just do some show stuff today, and then I don't know, just get ready to go spend some time at a car dealership, which is generally never fun. No one ever gets excited about ever going to a car dealership. So
right.
I'm hoping my time at Springfield Southern Motors is a positive one. And I went around looking for cars. And the first car I found was the one I'm going to look at.
Right.
And it just, like, my wife likes certain things. She always likes, she loves the color gray. She wants an SUV, right? So
right.
I don't know if she liked much of any other color of a car. I think she'd be open to it if it was the right car.
So is this it's a gray vehicle?
It's a gray SUV.
Okay.
A Jeep Compass 2019. It's got kind of a cool sporty look to it.
Okay.
It's got black aluminum wheels, which is kind of cool. So it's
cool.
It's got a very, very cool look to it, and it's loaded. Leather seats, Bluetooth, all the fancy stuff that you want in a car.
Nice.
Heated seats. Ooh. Automatic start. Ooh. Bring it on.
All right, guys, got about 30 seconds.
I can't wait till that morning hits where she's like, my car won't turn on. I'm like, did you accidentally hit the automatic start and it's been running all night and you're out of gas? Yeah.
Thankfully, it shuts off after a while.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Good.
At least my car did when I auto started it, because I'm like, I'm going to let it sit for a good 20 minutes. No.
No. I wonder if you could set that.
That's a good question.
Like 15 minutes or something.
All right, guys, be right back. All right, one more story to go before we get out of here. It's Marshall's Music News.
So Ghost is back on the scene. They have a brand new single called Hunter's Moon, which is part of the soundtrack for the new movie Halloween Kills, which officially comes out in theaters tomorrow and on Peacock the same day. Ghost is also on tour with Volbeat, doing 26 dates, co-headlining a U.S. tour. Unfortunately, nothing really here in the Southeast, but they are playing in like Seattle, Denver, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix. But in a recent interview, Tobias Forge, the lead singer and mastermind of Ghost, said obviously most of the past year has been working on this new record, which we're planning on putting out early in 2022. He said, but the year before, which forced most people to stay home, staying domestic was actually quite nice recuperation for me. I've been on tour for pretty much a decade, so just being home and being with my family and all that, which he goes, I feel very invigorated by. He goes, touring is great. It's fun as hell, and I miss that as well. But sometimes you need to go back to harbor and just remember why you're out there pirating. So it's good to hear that Tobias is completely rested and ready to hit the road once again. We're both huge fans of Ghost. I can't wait to see him live once again. They always play in Jacksonville for some reason. Like they always play the Florida Theater there, which is a great spot to see a show. So hopefully they'll be making their way back there.
All right, guys, thank you for hanging out this morning on air and on the stream. We definitely appreciate it. Tomorrow on the show, of course, kick it off with About Last Night. Brand new segment with Lauren Wolverton from Connect Savannah. What are we doing? She'll run down things going on this weekend in the Low Country and Coastal Empire. And still to be determined, a guest for Beer for Breakfast.
We'll have somebody.
Somebody will join us. If not,
they'll be so cool, too. They'll be like the coolest.
Whatever happens, we're going to drink beer tomorrow on the show. So we'll talk to you then. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Kotter and Marshall, Rock 106.1.
All right, ladies and germs, it's been a fun day getting back to the show. Thank you so much for joining us. Tomorrow, obviously, a big show, as Kotter just mentioned. We got work to do. We got to go put it together. So we'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m.